All right, what's going on, family? What's going on? Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Right. All right, hit 1 if the audio and video is in sync and good. Hit 1 if the audio and video is in sync and is good. Hit 1. Let me know. Okay. All right. Okay, y'all saying everything is good. All right. All right, family, make sure you guys share this video. Share this video. As you're coming on in, hit the thumbs up button. Hit the subscribe button if you're brand new. Okay, I'm going to try to push through this. I'm a little tired. I had a long day. But I cannot let the Freestyle Friday family down. You know what I'm saying? So no matter what, I strive to be here for y'all, unless it's some kind of real grave emergency. All right. We have an interesting topic we're going to deal with today. There were several things that I could have potentially spoke on today based on cliffhangers that I left in past couple of Freestyle Fridays, I know. However, I like to address things as they come up as well. That's why it's called Freestyle Friday, right? We pick things that's going on and respond to them. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it may be plans. Most of the time it's freestyle. And that's why people like this show, because it's pretty organic. You don't know what to expect. You don't know what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? You're just coming on in. You know what I'm saying? Welcome in what's going down. So I definitely appreciate that. All right. So get started with some updates and things that's going on, so you guys are abreast and aware. And with that, we'll be heading off into this or tonight's show. All right. So let's get started. Now, the first thing I want to say is shout out to brother Zaab Benjamin and my brother Priest Danya'Allah of Lions of Israel. Those brothers have been reaching out to me since last year, asking me to be a part of a film documentary that they're doing called Charagma, right? Charagma means mark, and is what you see in Revelation chapter 13, where it talks about the mark of the beast. Well, that word for mark there is the Greek word charagma, right? So they've been asking me to shoot some footage from that, if they could catch me on video or whatever the case may be. My schedule's been kind of crazy, and so has theirs. So they decided that they're gonna fly out to everybody they're gonna bring on the show in the film, and I decided to come out here to Atlanta. So my brother Priest Danya'Allah and brother Zaab Benjamin are in town, so I'll be building with them tomorrow. I went to go see them earlier today. Had a great build with them. We shot a little bit of footage, not too much because we didn't have a lot of time. But tomorrow I'll be there with them for a couple of hours, kicking back, chilling, and try to get some behind the scenes footage for you guys. Try to record it live while we're building, and see where it goes from there. But I'm gonna shoot my part for Charagma. So pretty much it's about the mark of the beast and what do you see the mark of the beast to be. However, they want to make it very nuanced and unique. So you'll see things that they address in regards to the mark of the beast that you really don't see in a lot of other documentaries or films or just videos on YouTube in regards to the mark of the beast. So it's something that is produced in-house by us. Okay. And it's something that I'm proud of that the brothers is putting together. I think is awesome. And they filmed me. We did a quick teaser we did earlier today, so that teaser will be out soon. And then like I said, I'm gonna try to live stream tomorrow after we finish shooting, as we build and stuff like that for y'all to see here on Kingdom Harbinger Ministries. But yeah, it was a long day, man. Extremely exhausting day, running off of fumes. But I try to put my all into this ministry thing, you know what I'm saying, for y'all, to benefit the community, for the community to benefit off of it. And for subsequent generations to come. So I'll be uploading on Patreon tonight the footage we took. So we took some teaser footage and it's some behind the scenes. So you'll get to see it like raw and uncut. But it'll be up on Patreon. So if you're interested on that, you'll see it on Patreon. So that video will be up on Patreon tonight. You guys can check it out. And then tomorrow, we're probably going to record some exclusive footage outside of the live stream and outside of the documentary that I also load up on Patreon. So make sure you guys are sign up for Patreon. Make sure your Patreon is working so you guys can get access to that exclusive. All right. Again, very dynamic video. And I'm going to go the way I'm approaching it. I'm doing two parts. I'm doing the part that I planned for and the part that I did not plan for. The part I planned for is I'm showing people how to do what's called bijection. Okay. Bijection. And bijection is a mathematical principle. Okay. That's to do with one-to-one mapping from something in one domain and the items in one domain or references in one domain, how they line up with references in the other domain one-to-one. All right. So you have a domain, a circle, you have a bunch of X's, another circle domain, you have Y's, and then X here corresponds with Y here, X here corresponds with this Y, this one corresponds with this one. That's called one-to-one correspondence or one-to-one mapping. And what I do is that I lay out a template on how to objectively discern the text within its historical, cultural, and linguistic context in order for us to see how it relates to today in regards to identifying what the mark of the beast is. So we go into language, culture, and history, all right, as well as the scripture itself, doing cross-referencing and trying to find a way to objectively present it to you without telling you what it is, right, but showing you how to identify it, okay? And I know you guys are going to enjoy it when you see it, not just my part, but everybody else's part that's going to be in that film. But I try to stand out and be unique and try to do so from an objective perspective. If you guys want to get an idea of what we're touching on, I'll show you some. Let me show you some real quick. I'm going to show you the document that I created. But I'm not going to show you all of it, because if I show you all of it, then it's going to spoil what I'm going to say in film. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm going to share some of it with y'all. I'm going to share one portion of the linguistic piece. And again, it gets deeper than that. But since that one is not much of a spoiler, I'm just going to show that one. Okay. All right. So just give me a second and pull up on the screen. All right. All right, here we go. All right, so this is identifying and market the beast objectively. Point one, I have 6 points. 6 points. Now, there was another point I was going to bring out, but I probably will bring it out on Freestyle Friday, on future Freestyle Friday, where I get into the 666 number and the textual variant 616. All right, and kind of explain you guys with that. Through textual criticism, let you know which manuscripts have 666, which ones have 616, and go into patristic sources via their commentary and show you what their feedback and input was as it pertains to that numbering system, okay, to give more insight into it at that time. So, but for now, in this cut, I'm not mentioning 666 or 616. I'm just pretty much trying to show people how to break down what they're reading objectively, okay? So here, let me zoom in a little bit more. All right. So here I'm dealing with language, right? So point one is linguistic. The first and second beasts are represented by the Greek pronoun it. Therefore, they're not actual persons. The reason for this is because the word for beast in the Greek is therion, right? Pronounced therion, because my objective is to walk people through the language. And again, if you sign up for the Patreon and you got a $20 tier pledge, you get access to our Biblical Greek for Beginners course. All right. Biblical Greek for Beginners or Layman's course. All right. There's also a Biblical Hebrew for Layman or Beginners course. That's at the $20 pledge. And all you got to do is scroll through the post or type in a search Biblical Hebrew and it'll show up. You click on the post, click on the link, and it'll take you to the video. Okay, so you can start watching it, because when we do our classes, I know y'all been asking about the classes. I know they're coming. It's coming extremely soon. We just got a lot of stuff on the plate. I'm trying to clear off so I can focus just on the classes. But if you get a head start in getting into the language this way, then you'll be able to catch up and keep up with what we're saying in regards to the classes, because we're going to be touching on language. But the class is not a language course, right? It's a holistic research paradigm, meaning that we delve into language, culture, history, customs, manners, geography, zoo archaeology, material culture, non-material culture, sister cultures, do comparative cultural analysis, etc. Right? So we dive into a lot of things, and linguistics is just one component or one module of that. So I don't like to teach the language by itself anymore. It's sometimes I feel like medical doctors who just treat, liver issues, right, and doesn't see the fact that the liver is affected by other organs and other processes in the body. You know what I'm saying? So we deal with everything holistically. So that way, with the holistic approach, you can address anything as it pertains to the particular passage. All right. So language is one of them, right? So therion, which is a nominative, is a subject. Neuter means no gender. Singular means one noun. Therefore, it is the antecedent, and I put the extra E there to help with people understanding how to pronounce it. It is the antecedent of the pronoun autos, which declines autos to autao, making it a neuter singular pronoun. This is important. Okay, so in Greek, nouns are declined and verbs are inflected. And there's several declensions in the noun system or noun case system as it pertains to Greek. Okay, and when you're following autos, which is extremely important to understand, it could be in a nominative, it could be in a dative, it could be dative meaning indirect, it could be an accusative meaning direct. So there's different forms it could take on, right? It could be in the masculine, it could be in a neuter, or it could be in a feminine, right? Depending upon its declension will determine the function it serves. But being that the antecedent, meaning that the form that precedes autos, right, which in this case is therion, and therion, right, is a neuter singular noun. So being that that's the subject, then the pronoun that follows it, autos, is declined to autao, which means it's an agreement with what? What is an agreement with? Number. That's why it's singular. It's an agreement with what? Gender, which you see there as well. Now, nominative means the subject, right? So it's also a subject as well. Pronoun can be a subject as well. So it lines up piece for piece, but you learn this when you start to read the Greek, okay? So this is extremely important because this way, somebody can't tell you that the beast is a person. The beast is not a person because the language does not allow you to make that type of determination, all right? The biblical data, by means of the language, it confines you to the semantic domain of particular words, okay? And the context helps to flesh it out, all right? So it says, with that said, we are not looking for a person to represent the first beast, or excuse me, we're not looking for a person to be the first beast, but a gender neutral entity of some sort. That's what I meant to put. I got to go ahead and correct that. Good thing we didn't record yet, right? I.e., a government system, a corporation, a movement, etc. When we get to Revelation 13:18, the calculation of the number of the beasts, and that is a system called gematria in the Hebrew, or isopsophia, right? Which is, the word isop and sophia, which means iso has to do with number and phi has to do with wisdom, right? And the Greek represents the number of a man. This man is the spokesman or representative of the beast. He is not the beast itself. There is no reference to the word Antichrist anywhere in this chapter, although some say it's implied here. Now, if you just stick to the purported author of the book of Revelations, that would be Yachanan or John. And if you look in other books by John, you'll see that he uses this term Antichrist. However, in Revelation 13, that term is not used anywhere in there. And we have to keep that in mind. This is extremely important. Okay? Extremely important. The dragon is one thing, the beast is something else. So I'm going to stop there because if I keep going, we go into identity. And from identity, I go into juxtaposition. From juxtaposition, I go into commerce. From commerce, I go into another linguistic note. And then from there, I end up with my conclusion. 6 points, like a 6-pointed star, 6 points. because we're talking about the mark of the beast. The number of the beast is the number of the man, 666. Okay. So getting into the language helps to flesh this out to get you to understand. So I'm going to explain to you what the mark of the beast is, and I'm going to explain to you what the seal of the Most High God is. Okay? That's important. Yeshua had the seal. The seal was set on him. You know, the one that's supposed to be set on the chosen 144,000, where the Melachim have to hold back what's about to go on earth until the servants of the Most High are sealed on their forehead. Yeah, explain what that means, you know, because sealed on your forehead is the anointing. So when, let me stop. The olive oil is smeared on the forehead of somebody being anointed. Okay. All right. And sealed, I'm going to stop there. I'm saying, y'all want to see the rest? You'll get a little bit of insight on Patreon, or you can just wait till the documentary airs late spring, and you guys will be able to enjoy it. I go heavy into this, and I know you're going to enjoy it. All right? Okay. All right. So with that being said, let me go ahead and say what's up to the family in the chat, and then we're going to go on with the rest of our updates, and from there, we're going to dive into our show. Okay? So let's see who's up in here. All right, shout out to Yvette Powell. Salam to you as well, sis. Slowful of God, shalom. Aishuko, Shabbat, shalom. Smooth Vessel, shalom. Asantawa, sis Asantawa, shalom. Jason Brundage, shalom. Karen Gittins, shalom, shalom. Stephen Mikhail Key, shalom. Leslie Field, shalom. Black App, shalom. Stanley Field, shalom. True People of the Bible, shalom. Alex McCaskill, shalom. Andre Warvers, shalom. Jimmy Johnson, shalom. Jalen M. Dixon, shalom. Essie Thompson, shalom. Just call me Tex, shalom. Donna T, shalom. Navia Yashar L, shalom. The souls of our ancestors, shalom. Officially Loco, shalom, shalom. Tracy H, shalom. 4HZBNF8FL2, shalom. Demetrius Easley, shalom. Dwayne Yosef, shalom. John and Dorsey, shalom, shalom. Brother James, aka Getwise, shalom, shalom. Coded Being, shalom. Let me see who else we got in here. Shalamash, shalom. D Will, shalom. Donna T, shalom. Lisa Anderson, shalom. Alivia Israel, shalom. Daughter of the Most High. Pooj, not Pug, Pooj. Shalom. Black Ash, shalom. Beulah, daughter of Zion, shalom, elder. Deborah Newsom, shalom, shalom. Let me see. Oh, I see what you said right there, sis. I'm not gonna forget that. I'm gonna touch on that in a second. Shout out to Sister Nisi's PCs in the building. Shalom. Oriyahu Ben Shem in the building. Shalom. My brother Aharon the Presby. Shalom, shalom. Let's see. That's our resident Christian associate there in the building. Sister V Love, what's going on? Danny L. Williams, shalom. Let's see. Let me see. Shout out to Remarkable Ministries in the building. Bruce Williams, Jacob, wake up, shalom. Son of Yadre, shalom, shalom. Let me see. Nabi Banyasharala, shalom. Vanessa Satterwhite, shalom, shalom. Linda Ricks, shalom. Des the Hebrew, shalom. J Lockhart 25, shalom. My brother Sidney Woods, shalom, shalom. Elephant Man Podcast Network, holding it down, shalom. Torio, hashtag TMH, shalom. Sister E in the building, shalom, Sister E. Let's see, Stacks 2296, shalom. Mr. Glass is with us. Mikhail Banks, Truth Seeker, shalom, shalom. 89 plus 1, shalom, shalom. What's going on? Shalom. Let me see. Noah Dia, Yasharala, what's going on? Talia, shalom. Noraya Yisrael, sister in the building, shalom. Kanum Hatat, Abad. Rahu Ba'at, divine, shalom, same to you. Ben Yamin, Azan, Yisrael, shalom. Zeph, shalom. Melanie King, shalom. Relion T, shalom. Christopher Martin, shalom. Don Williams, V Brand, shalom, shalom. C Wicker in the building. Elkim Barlow, Yawasop, son of light, holding it down. Chris Fant, Peter Walters, shalom, shalom. All right, Elo Fuego, shalom. All right, family. All right, we got the family up in the house. All right. I always take some time to shout the people out that are devoted to this show, devoted to this ministry, and doing their thing. Okay. All right. Thank you, sis, for pointing that out. Yes, family, please send your prayers out to the brothers and sisters who are having issues out in Houston. Issues out in Houston. Now, what I want to do, and shout out to my brother Alex McCaskill for the donation, my brother. I appreciate that. So if anybody's in the Houston area and you're experiencing any difficulties, right, and you need some kind of assistance, please email us at kingdomharbinger@gmail.com or give us a call at 678-430-3832, 678-430-3832. That's another reason why we receive donations on this channel, because when there's a need in the community, we meet it as best we can. All right. So if anybody is out that way that needs any kind of assistance, please email us at kingdomharbinger@gmail.com or call us at 678-430-3832. You don't have to say anything in the chat. You can then reach out to us anonymously, and whatever we raise through our Patreon, through our super chat, and through our miscellaneous donations, we will make sure that we send a portion to you if you need financial aid. And we're also going to be able to create an opportunity to get you additional assistance so you can help yourself in the absence of anybody else being available to assist you. Now, with that being said, I'm going to jump into the next part of what I want to discuss. Shout out to my brother Ben Yamin Azan Yisrael for the donation. I appreciate that. So I want to say thank you to everybody who signed up for KHM membership. We sent out the invoices for membership dues donation, and a lot of y'all responded, and we appreciate that. Some people was a little confused about it. If you express interest in the ministry, we had our outbound team make calls to 245 people, all right, who showed interest in the ministry. We sent emails. We also sent invitations to the KHM virtual chapter group onboarding session that we did. So you guys, if you guys did not get that, I apologize. We also sent out text messages. So we did everything we could to reach out to everybody who showed interest, everybody who co-signed that they were interested. And that's why we sent out the invoicing so we can onboard you. And that's what we discussed in the KHM virtual chapter session, that once we invoice the donation for membership dues, then we can provide you with your official t-shirts, lapel pins, and your official certificate. And then from there, we give you access to the fresh skills training courses that we take care of, that we pay. And then from there, we get you involved in groups, we get you in certain roles, and then we encourage you to put forth initiatives for us to accomplish as an organization and take care of the society ills in the community with our Israelite cultural Torah paradigm, which is one of the ultimate solutions for the society ills that we face in our community. Now, our PMs, we have a couple of them in the chat. We're working on several programs. The donations that you give for membership, it gets allocated as a budget to the various programs and services that we are offering the community. One of them that is extremely important that I have 2 to 3 PMs working on currently. And again, once you sign up for membership, you'll be able to see all the behind the scenes work that we're doing, the meetings that we're having, the progress that we're making. And if you're a $100 Patreon tier pledger, you'll be able to be a stakeholder where you'll be able to see what's going on behind the scenes, get involved in our meetings, and give your feedback and input to help us move towards our destination, to be able to provide autonomy to the community by restoring culture that was taken from us and using that culture to build a stronger community. And from there, becoming Kodesh, or set apart, by being self-governing and be able to take care of our own societal needs without having to reach our hand out to the welfare state or other nonprofit organizations or Muslim, Christian, Jewish organizations or secular organizations. We can take care of our own. Okay. So I just want to put that out there. That service is called our emergency delivery services. We're still working on a fancy name for it, but pretty much what that is, that you subscribe monthly. It's a program that we're creating where you subscribe monthly. And what happens is whenever there is a natural disaster or some kind of other issue, like a pandemic or whatever the case may be, you'll be able to call a hotline number, our dispatch number, be able to check in with our inventory of items that we are stockpiling, and anything that you need, we will put on a truck from one of the brothers that has signed up and contracted with us and send them out to your direction to deliver you all the supplies that you need to tough it out. And that is the service that we are working on. And this is why the donations help for us to allocate the resources, so that way we can then create those programs and those services for the community. Okay. So if this program was up and running, which we're still in the alpha phase right now, if it was up and running, then we would have already dispatched people out there. However, we do have to raise funding because we have to pay everybody involved. And then we have to use a dispatching software, freighting system, brokerage system, get the outsourcing set up. It costs money to do this, right? It's not free. We don't want to put our hand out and ask anybody for anything. We want to be recipients of grants by means of what we're already doing, that the community has helped to fund for us to provide the programs and services to the community. So your membership dues takes care of the things that we do for you, which is allowing you to come into the organization, play an important role where you fit in. We have tons of different departments. We train you professionally with the same programs and skills that are utilized by Fortune 500 companies, so that you have a degree of professionalism intact when we move as an organization. We also provide you with the things that you may need day to day. You're able to get access to these programs and services at no additional cost, and you allow us to have capital to become an angel investor so we can invest back to others in the community to do what they're doing. KHM is also linking up with other smaller groups, non-for-profits that we have in the community, businesses as subsidiaries under one large umbrella, so everybody can be taken care of. We also want to provide part-time and full-time roles to anybody that's interested in doing ministry and serving the Most High and expanding His kingdom worldwide. We want to be able to provide that opportunity, but we don't want to ask from anybody outside the community. We believe that we have enough people in the community that work hard, that want to see a difference, and that's willing to make a sacrifice to say, here you go. And that way they get into the meetings, they can see what we're doing, and they can see the progress, because we have PM or project management software where you can see the progress of everything that we're doing. We're going to create pin boards so you can see the progress of what we're doing. And if you have any feedback or input that can help us expedite the program service, or if you want to be part of our control group, when we do proof of concept and then from there a pilot, we're welcoming you in. Another thing that we're working diligently on is our KHM virtual homeschooling service. We want to provide homeschooling virtually and physically. All the cities that we are setting up chapters in, we will have not only a homeschooling service that will be a private school in your jurisdiction, but we're also working on a birthing center as an alternative to Israelites who want to have babies but don't want to go to hospitals to do it. All my children was birthed at home, fresh lotus births at home. All my children are healthy, doing well, no issues, no problems. It can be done. But if we had a birthing center with a support system of doulas and midwives that are there locally, then we can get things done. Also, Naturopathic Eden is our naturopathic health and consultation service. Every time you guys donate, we provide free consultation and assessment for debt elimination and for health information and education. You guys provide for that. So the tons of things that we're working on, the tons of things we're doing is because we're trying to affect change in the community. However, it's going to require capital. I don't like asking people for money, but I realize that it is a necessity if we're going to fund ourselves. If I'm talking about autonomy and I'm pushing autonomy and I'm reaching outside the community, because, you know, I could go outside of our community and ask for help, right? And I will get it. But I said, no, if we're going to do anything, I want the people of Yah to get credit for helping our own. Why do we got to look at the Jewish man, the Arab man, the East Indian man, the Korean man, Caucasians, and again, this is no shame to them, but I'm saying our community, right? With the byword Black community. Why do we have to reach out to them for help when we have our own? We have a lot of blue collared and white collared people that work, and they can put a little bit of money aside and say, okay, you know what? If these services are created, I can benefit from it, or my children can benefit from it. And if you don't believe what we're doing, all I say is sign up for membership, and we'll be able to bring you in so you can see what we're doing, or you can holler at our PMs in the chat, and they could break down for you what it is that we're doing. So again, family, I don't like asking for money. However, it is necessary to raise capital in order for us to get things done. Now, with the Patreon supports our scholarship part of the ministry, scholarship resources and documentaries that we're looking to film. It also is reserved for people who need assistance, like anybody in Houston or anybody that's in East Texas that needs assistance. The Patreon funds goes to that. It's starting capital to help until we're able to build the back end infrastructure. So becoming a member is distinct from the Patreon. The Patreon supports this show. It supports the resources that we put on the Patreon, whether it's articles, books, website access that I come out of my pocket and pay for, that I then get access to, whether it's our classes that's starting up, whether it's the language, access to our language courses, exclusive content, free access. That's what you support when you pay for the Patreon. Patreon is support to that element because we need an institution in the community. This is a startup institution that we're providing on behalf of KHM. The back end is for those who want to put the work in to fix the communities. So we educate, and after we educate, we go in and we physically edify. And we give you all the skills and training from us. We pay for it. Just like our PMs, we're going to help work them towards getting a PMP certification if they need it. If you join any part of our department and you're a member and there's some kind of certificate you want or course you want to take, we will be more than happy to fund it, provided we're able to raise the capital. Once we get all our programs and services, more of them, because we have about 4 of them already available, but once we get the other 8 off the ground, then we will be eligible for grants in excess of $500,000 to over $1 million. So now we can start employing our community. So we don't want to just go, please, we need some money. No, we're going to say, look, this is what we're working with. So do you want to outsource us to fix issues in the community? We have 4 towns that I've spoken to. People of color in those towns. Those towns have not adjusted to virtual homeschooling. It's crazy. They're not adjusted to senior assistant services in a pandemic. They have not adjusted to emergency delivery services. And we've had talks with them and they say, hey, once you get your program up, holler at us and you can sign a governmental contract where you can provide for the needs of this community. And I go to those communities and I see it's broken down, it's run down, and it's our people living there. And most people don't even know these towns exist. So we want to provide for the welfare of these towns. We do not want these people to be dependent on the state because the state will make you compromise. They make you buck and shuck and jive just to get something from them. It's crazy. But you know what? No matter who rides with us, I will do what I can with the strength of the Most High to get what it needs to get done. Even if I have to do it dolo, I will. But I thank the Most High for bringing people in so I don't have to do it by myself. But I will continue to be that voice in the wilderness crying out to say, we need to take care of our own. Let's come together collectively and do it. I hear people talk nation building all the time. Show me what you're doing. Show me. You getting farmland is not enough to say you nation building. You teach it on YouTube is not enough to say you nation building. You feeding the homeless is not enough because what you need to do is provide opportunity, not handouts. See, in the realm of philanthropy, philanthropists do handouts. We don't want to do handouts. If you need something and you ask us and we give it, we're going to use that as an icebreaker to say, wait, let's provide you with an opportunity so you can sustain yourself. We have another program called our Land Acquisition and Self-Sustainable Housing Program, where we teach people how to acquire land with a fee simple relationship to the land and show them how to build their own physical infrastructure that's self-sustaining on that land, which is on raw, unapproved land without any previous infrastructure, and you create your own. We have our Change the Champion Broken to Beautiful program where we help to reduce the recidivism rate in our community by giving the opportunity, not when they get out, but while they're in prison. So when they get out, we can say, hey, buy some land, build on that land, and support your own. And then use that to create a GDP for your own community so that way you could bring in revenue. These are the things that we want to share, but it requires capital. And all I want is for our community to support our own. When you guys see the vision, a lot of times people only want to celebrate when you have the prize, but they don't want to struggle with you when you go through the process. I'm going to say it again. People only want, not everybody, but most people only want to celebrate after you get the prize, but they don't want to struggle with you during the process. You see, that becomes the issue in our community. We are a wait and see people. We're going to say, wait a second. I don't know about that. Sounds good, but I'm going to wait to see what happens. And the reason why it's not happening is because you're not getting involved. So we just want to provide the opportunity for you to get involved so we can fix the society in the community with our Israelite cultural paradigm so we can put Yah's name back on the map. Are you bringing glory to Yah with what you're doing? Are you leaving a legacy for your children's children? Because, you know, a prudent man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. Are you doing that? Everything that we work hard to do today and create today, products, goods, services, and programs will be left behind for our grandchildren and our great-great-grandchildren in our absence. Are you doing that? If you're unable to do that by yourself, or let's say you do have a business, a not-for-profit, or a vision of something that you want to create to take care of the needs of the community, we are open to it. We have PMs, project managers that are waiting for additional projects to work on. If you don't believe me, half of them is here in the chat right now. So this is why I have to stress this, because when people talk about nation building, they don't know what they're talking about. When you ask KHM about nation building, we will show you what we're talking about. Okay. So hopefully you guys understand the difference between our Patreon, which supplies for our scholarship, our information, our resources, and access. And also the surplus from that goes to those who are in need. And then also the super chat, which is dedicated to additional fund to give to those who are in need, whether they're in domestic abuse situations and need to go to a domestic shelter, whether there are children that are in a foster home, because we provide for children that are in foster homes too. That's another program that we're going to create, is we're going to create our own foster home. We're going to go to foster homes from the state, and we're going to get our children, because Torah tells you to look after the orphans, the fatherless, and the widows. Do we have an infrastructure for that? Or you're creating a program to say, hey, how about we go into the foster system and get our people out of there? You know what they do to our children in the foster system? The first thing they want to do is find an excuse to take a black child out of a black home and put them in the system. Whether that's through prison, whether that's through a foster home, whether that's through a psychiatric ward, because we have mental issues because of trauma that's been epigenetically placed on us, and we do not have an institution to heal us. KHM is looking to provide that, but it's going to take time and it's going to take resources for us to get it done. And most of us that are watching can use these services. Okay. I don't just want to be a visionary and tell you all of these things that we want to do. I want to be able to show you that we are doing, but I can't do it without help. And this is the season to ask for help and assistance, and I'm not ashamed. Right? What's that song go? I ain't too proud to beg. If I have to beg the people, I will until I get support. But you know what? That old cliche, building and they will come. Then with the little bit of help that I do have, I'll build it. And let me see if people will really come. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Okay. Shout out to Shalisha Morgan in building. Shalom. Timon Matthew. Shalom. Taniqua Williams. Shalom. Shalom. I see you. Duash An. Shalom. Shalom. Seth M. What's going on, King? Shalom. Let me see if I missed anybody. Let's see. Arcane Lagos. Shalom. Let's see. I think that's everybody. Shout out to my brother Oriyahu Ben Shem for the donation, and everybody else that I may have missed who gave the donation. I thank my mods for staying on touch of everything that's going on in the chat. I appreciate that. All right, family, and that's what we want to do. Like I said, we are our ancestors' dreams. Now, whether those dreams become in actuality, not a reality, in actuality is dependent upon your willingness to put that work in. Sometimes people say, Divine, look, I like what you're doing with the behind the scenes, with the community thing, but that's just not for me. I understand that. Brother, I'm just interested in the scholarship and the information and the Patreon. No problem. You can support our ministry that way. And we'll take that, a portion of what you put there, as a means of filtering over to the programs that we have budgets allocated towards, so we can get things done. We have professionals that are working with us, family. Professionals that are working with us. And these professionals said, we'll do it at no cost, Divine. I said, no. Your time, energy, effort, blood, sweat, and tears is worth something. They said, look, I just want the kingdom. I said, yeah, that sounds good. However, if your actions, and I'm going to say this again, I say this in all my meetings, I said with my team, if your sacrifices do not pay back and pay forward, you need to reconsider your investments. I'm going to say it again. If your sacrifices do not pay back and pay forward, you need to reconsider your investments. All right. And this is extremely important, family. And I want you guys to take that in, because balancing scales is what the Most High honors. He does not like uneven scales. He likes scales that are even in balance. And that is what we want to provide to those who put their sweat equity into helping to build an organization that's going to supply the needs for our community. All right. All right. Shout out to Ezrak in the building. Shalom, sis. Shalom. Leslie Fields. Shalom. Shalom. All right. Leslie Fields says every nation experiences the American dream off of black dollars, even our own churches. We need to fund our own programs that we may benefit and build wherever we are. Thank you. Thank you. I totally agree. We have no problem creating programs, services, products, and goods that we can offer anybody. Because what happens is, and I learned this from growing up in New York, in the Bronx, corner store. I told you the story of the time. The Arab put 3 of his kids through college off of black dollars. We went in there and said, man, this community is broke. He said, broke, poverty. You see poverty in the black community? He said, black people will find a way to get whatever they want. He said, if I could put 3 of my kids through college What makes you think that you can't make money off of that? And he says, I'm not talking about the money that the dope dealer makes. He said, because we're not selling no drugs here. But he says, we know the drug dealers community and we teach them. We teach them how to do economics. He said, because they're not a nation like us. Black people are not a nation like us. So he had no problem taking my money, but I asked him for a job. No, we're not hiring. No problem taking my job, my money. But when it comes to hiring me for a job, no. It's a family business. I said, family business. I just looked up how you incorporate it. He said, no, family business. Okay. You show me in an Asian nail shop some black people that's working on people's feet. You show it to me. Show me one. Show me. You get an East Indian 7-Eleven and you show me a whole bunch of black people working in there. You show me. Now, you may have other businesses that are not franchised where you do have black people working in it, but most of us are not the owner. So now we have an opportunity where we're trying to create that in our community, and we feel like sometimes we have to pull teeth. And I think that's because most people don't want to be obligated to do anything because it takes them out of their comfort zone. But the only way that you can make your dreams happen, you have to be uncomfortable in the process. If you're too comfortable, you're going to be too complacent. And when you're complacent, guess what? No creativity comes out of being complacent. You must be uncomfortable. You must make mistakes. You must take risks that are calculated in order for you to promote and provide success. And the greatest thing, like I said, that you can give anybody is an opportunity. And that's all I'm simply presenting to the family that are watching today is that opportunity. All right. So with that, let me transition from that because some of y'all didn't come here to hear me talk, be on my soapbox, and ask the community to come on board so we can get things popping. So let's go ahead and transition. All right. So also, we're going to give away a gift card, an Amazon gift card at the end of the show. All right. Again, you have to have the app. Go to the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store and type in My One Church app. You'll see it scrolling across the screen at the bottom. The My One Church app. Download and install it. When you click on the icon to open it up, in the zip code field, type 30064. 30064. Hit enter. You'll see Kingdom Harbinger Ministries show up. Click on it with your finger, and it will bring you into our app. That's the gateway to get into our app. Once you get into our app, you have a button that says membership you can click on, a button that says groups, so you can see all the groups that we have in here that you can join and be a part of, all right? And then you can access the Patreon right through that app, as well as all of our other social media handles, our lessons. You have Bible apps within the app, and then you have our events calendars. You can see things that are going on in the organization, okay? Also, all of our members, all right, you will have access to the online software part of KHM, so that way you can get involved in the things that are going on across the organization, all right? So again, thank you to all those who have already given their dues. I appreciate that. You have given us startup capital to get our PMs going. And also, we can provide you with the items you need to make it official, which is your official t-shirt, your pin, and your certificate to bring you officially on board, give you access to the training, which is emotional intelligence training, customer service training, goal setting and accomplishments training. For our PMs, they have business acumen training. We have communication strategies, etc. We give you professional training to enhance your productivity, diplomacy, and tact, so you have a degree of polish and professionalism when we move in the streets. Why? Because there's no respect placed on the name of being Israel in this community, in this country. That's why KHM is an NGO that will be signing up with the working group of experts for the people of African descent, so that way we can get on the international scale and get involved in the International Decade for People of African Descent, which Israelites is a subcomponent of that. So that way we can get access to all the initiatives that drive recognition, development, and justice. Because if we do not get access to these things, we give an allowance to be trampled over. And if I'm keeping Torah and I'm looking to get these blessings, I'm not going to let anything get in the way. Because we have one last shot to give a big hurrah, to be distinct and set apart as a people before Yah comes. We have to be that example in these last days. All right. These nations are looking for the light and we are hiding it. We can't do it no longer, family. All right. So Talia, let me show you what it looks like. Thank you for asking. I'll bring it up on the screen so you can see the icon. So give me 1 second. I'll show it to you. And then I'm going to take one quick intermission break, and I'll be right back. All right, this is it right here. This is what the icon looks like. All right, it's the My One Church app. That's it right there. It's going to look the same in the Apple App Store. All right. Okay. So also I'm working on the circumcision video. So as you guys know, my son Shemayahu, he was circumcised, and what we did was recorded the entire session as well as other little components. That video will be up on Patreon soon. Also, Incognito Season 2, Episode 1 is on the Patreon. Sign up and check out Incognito. What is Incognito? It is a play on the word incognito, and that is me, DivineProspect, going undercover as an average Joe in order to learn about things that are going on in society and the needs, wants, and desires of the people, as well as to expose things in the community. Like I did Season 1, we dealt with the vaccines and realized that they wanted to give us a shot without giving us the insert that tells you who should not get this shot. And we exposed that. So you can see when we went to the pharmacy to go ask it, we asked questions like I was a regular Joe to expose that. But we also went undercover to learn things as well. So it's me day to day interfacing with the public and bringing that data back to you guys so you can get a consensus of what's going on and how we as a community should respond to that. So that's our Incognito series, which is exclusive now only on the Patreon. All right. Now, we're going to wait until the end of the show to do our Amazon gift card giveaway. Everybody that has the app, you'll get a push notification of a question that you can then answer in the chat. And also, if we get a couple more Patreon signups for this session, we will increase the value of the Amazon gift card that we're going to give away at the end of the show. All right. Again, there's nothing like this anywhere in this community. And if you find something like it, let me know so I can partner up with them so we can be a much bigger Voltron. All right. We're trying to be ahead of the curve, cutting edge, and do what the Most High has instructed us to do while we await for him to redeem us. We have too much work to do. The harvest is more plentiful than you can imagine, and there's always only going to be a remnant of laborers to do it. You know, I'd rather be caught doing the labor when he comes to divinely intervene than to be sitting out there on the sidelines and not doing anything. Because it's like Yeshua talks about the talents that's been given. I'm going to give you this talent, this talent, this talent, and I'm going to go away from some time. When I come back, I want to see what you do to invest that talent. So many of us are holding on to that talent, holding on to it, that when Yah comes back, he's going to say, what are you doing? Why did you hold on to that? Why did you not invest it? And we're going to be left out in the cold. For what? Why? Because you rather complain than get involved? I don't care if you're 85, and we got people in their 80s and 90s part of this organization putting in work. 80s and 90s, and y'all are what, in your 30s, 40s, and 50s? You're gonna let my 70s, 80s, and 90s group outdo y'all, put it in work? Why we gotta let our elders to be out there? I told all these elders, look, one thing that we're working on, and my PMs can tell you, is a senior assistance program. We should have a retirement fund for all our seniors. We should have people that are able to go out and check on all our seniors that's in this truth, to go do a mental health check, emotional health check, spiritual health check, and physical health check, to make sure that they're okay, and social health check. That's important because they have so much chokmah that cannot go with them when they die. We need to absorb everything we can from our elders so we can pass on their legacy. They should not be waiting on jobs. Some of them are still working in their 70s. Why? Why? We failed. We dropped the ball. Our seniors should not be on the front line doing that work. The village always takes care of the seniors. You know why? The Ivrit people. Okay, the Ivrit people. Not Ivrit. The, man, I forgot. What's the name of these people? The Piraha peoples. All right? And I mentioned this before. There was a missionary sent to them, and he was watching to see how they operated and how they worked. And he saw this community. Mind you, this community is out in the Amazon, and they're an isolated community, meaning that they're not exposed to the greater world except by the way of missionaries. So he's observing them, and he sees that they're helping this old man. He cannot do anything for himself. They even put the food in his mouth, and they help him chew. He says, why are you doing it for this guy? He's not contributing to the community. So why are you putting food, like hunting for food and gathering for food and giving it to him and even helping him chew. They said, because when I was a child, he fed me, he clothed me, he cradled me, he spoke to me, he did things for me. Now that he is older, it is now my obligation to take care of him. And he realized after watching him, he said, man, you guys really don't have any surplus of supplies. When you keep any surplus of supplies? They said, in the belly of my brother. And this guy was trying to bring Christianity to the self-autonomous community and realized that he had nothing to offer them. Why do we not think on the village mentality? Why do we not think like this? If we thought like this, we would touch Yah's heart so much that he said, look, let me stop what I'm doing up here and come down and see these people. That is how much we want to put in work, that we are getting Yah off his throne to come down here and see what's popping. Yah, we want to touch you so much that you have to come down and see. He said, look, the first time I came down, a man was doing wickedness. This time, oh, these people are putting in that work. Let me go meet them. We want to expedite his arrival because he sees us doing so much to keep ourselves set apart and unblemished and unstained for him. It touches his heart so much that he cannot wait to meet us. We can do that as a people. I believe that. Maybe you may think that, Divine, that's too high of an aspiration. Okay, then let that be, whatever you want to call it. But that's how I want to do it. Okay. All right. Shout out to my brother D-Red, the blue collar scholar. My brother D-Red is in Houston. D-Red, let the people know if you have any contact information, put it in the chat, if they can reach out to you, because I know you in the streets helping the people. So please also, family, you can donate to us or somebody that's local, like my brother D-Red that's in the chat. And my brother D-Red that's in the chat, he will help the people out there in Houston, because I know he's out there doing it. All right. Kanum Hatab Abad, he says he can't find the app. And that's because, my brother, you're outside of the US. Do you have Android? If you have Android, we can get you the app. If you don't have Android and you have Apple, then we give you the link so that way you can get limited access to the online software, right? We can send you the link for that. All right. Thank you so much, my brother Seth, for doing that. What I want to do is, let me do this. I'm going to put the link for the online software. Now, members get full access to it. However, if you don't want to become a member and you just want to stay in touch and see what we have going on, then you can do so this way as well. I'm going to put it here in the chat for y'all. All right, here's the link. And you can use this link if you cannot get access to the app. All right. There it is. Okay. Nisi, sure. I sure will. Let me show the app. I'm going to show the Apple version of it now. So I showed the Android version of it. So let me show the Apple version of it, so you can see what it looks like. And I'm going to keep talking about nation building until Yah comes. I'm not going to stop. So you may want to, if you're replaying this and you don't want to get busy putting in work in the community, you may want to fast forward this every session, because I'm going to remind y'all every session that we have work to do and it's imminent and we don't have time to waste. Okay. So here's what the app looks like. And it looks the same on Android as well as Apple. Okay. So I gave you the link in the chat, Kanum. The link is in the chat, Kanum. Click on the link and you can access our online software that way. All right. Thank you so much, my brother Jay. Still standing 89. He says, D-Red, I think I heard you correctly. You are in Texas. If so, how can I help out? You see this? This is community. This is us taking care of our own. Sax 2296 says the audio is cutting out. Family, let me know if you're having issues with the audio as well. I hope not. I hope that's just you, my brother, and you may have to just restart. Let me know if something's wrong with the audio, family. Let me know if something's wrong with the audio. If the audio is good, hit 1. If the audio is good, hit 1. All right. All right. So let us transition into why y'all are here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and play this video. And I'm a freestyle a response because I'm preparing a formal response if the brother decides he wants to come on this platform and build, but he may not do that. So I may have to go on the platform that he's on in order to build. But I want to show you something. And before I show it to you, let me give you the preface. I'm going to take a break, give me something to drink, take a little refreshment break, and I'll be right back with y'all. But let me tell you why this is important, why this is necessary. The reason why this is important and the reason why this is necessary is because there are Israelites that come into the truth or that are in the truth, and they get challenged with information that is outside of their scope of thought. And in presented with this information, it is something that their Moray didn't teach them, their pastor didn't teach them, their apostle didn't teach them, their imam didn't teach them, or whatever the case may be in the past. So they get approached with this information and they have no response. So therefore, because they have no response, they concede to the information because nobody in our community is addressing it. Now, Kingdom Harbinger Ministries is not an apologetic ministry, but we provide apologetics because there's a gap. So we fill in the gap. We provide diplomacy and working with other groups because there's a gap. So we build the bridge. This is not our primary goal. Our primary goal is nation building, right? That's our primary goal. We do it through scholarship and through behind the scenes work in the community. However, whenever there's a gap, we want to be the ones to fill it. I learned a lesson with the Most High. He told me at that complaining, if you see something missing, it's because you're the plug. If you see something missing, he says, because you are the puzzle piece. So I just stopped asking. I stopped complaining. Because the moment that I recognize that there is something that is absent, that is missing, that is sorely needed, the reason why I acknowledged it is because it's my duty or my obligation to fulfill it or find a way to get somebody to fulfill that gap. So in the apologetics arena, when I came into the community, I realized there was not no systematic theological positions. There was not no cultural disposition. There was not none of this stuff that was in place in order to provide people with argumentation in defense of where they stand. A lot of times things would be dismissed by elders or congregation leaders or camp leaders. I say, no, we confront it head on. We deal with the information. We show the fallacy in the information and show you why it holds no water and why you can continue to stand as an Israelite. I went through all the schools of thought in the so-called Black conscious community. I know each paradigm of thought because I took some time diligently for several months to engage the information and visit NOI. I went to the Moorish Scientific of America. I went to a Kemetic shrine. I went to all these places to hear and to listen what is taught, take notes, and use research methodology to vet what information I'm getting. And in the course of all of that, when I decided to try out the Israelite community, I realized it was the paradigm for me. But in order for me to accept that paradigm, I must use my skepticism to challenge and critique it. So I do so from those outside of the paradigm that disagree with it in order to see, will it withstand? And I realized that the core fundamentals, it withstands. However, things on the outside, it does not. So I said, Most High Yah, something needs to be done. He says, you go do it. I said, yeah, I didn't sign up for this. He says, yeah, I know you didn't sign up for this because if you did, you wouldn't qualify. Oh, man, let me stop. He says, I qualify you. When I give you the vision to do it, it's not because you're qualified to do it. It's because I qualified you. That's why he has me moving in realms where I don't have the certification to move, but because I'm doing it on behalf of him, he moves things out the way. Okay, so let's stay focused. Let's stay focused. All right. All right. So I realized that that gap was there. And when I came into this community, and you'll see, go back and watch my old videos from 2014. Nobody was doing anything like this before. I labored almost 8 years to get the community to this point where now people are seeing the value in research methodology and vetting sources and being more scholarly in their approach. Not saying it wasn't being done, but it wasn't mainstream. I made it mainstream. That's the swag we took on over here. We made it mainstream. You know why? Because in 2021, everybody is bombarded with tons of information. How do you vet it? Remember I told you about the crack test? You see, we don't just give you the information. We teach you how to study with authenticated research methodology. And people can say whatever they want. Unsubstantiated assertions don't mean anything unless it's put to the flame of peer review and critique. Even the stuff that I teach, I'm always open and subject to that. That's why I make everything public. I don't teach behind closed doors and hide that. I put it out in the open. So it's public record. So in doing so, two sisters tagged me and a brother's platform and say, Divine, you need to come on this platform and represent for the community. I looked at the platform and I'm like, okay, I see what's being said over there, but it wasn't a priority of mine. But just recently I was tagged again. They tagged me several times. Every time this brother, and shout out to the brother at Crumb TV. Every time the brother has something where him and the conscious chef or the Minister of Information comes on and has builds. The Minister of Information, he does his Bible study classes, right? He also talks about the Israelite community and says that he wants to build with the Israelite community. So when I was tagged and a post he did on Instagram, I said, wow, this guy's bringing some interesting information, but there's some disinformation there. And I would love to have a build with him so I can educate the brother on the things that he's misinformed about. So the brother responded and said, yeah, I would love to build with you A, B, and C. So I inboxed the brother on IG and I did not hear back from him. So he put out, as you're going to see, he put out a challenge to have a sit-down discussion, not a debate, he says. I don't want to debate, right? Because when I debate, I do overkill, 200 plus slides. Let's get it in. Not a debate. If you wanted to debate, we can go there. But the brother is brilliant and the brother is intelligent and the brother has been around the block, I can tell. However, he is still misinformed in some areas. And you know how I found out where his misinformation comes from? Because he did a follow-up video after he did a short 2-minute video on Instagram talking about Baal Hadad. He said Baal. No, it's Baal. It's a glottal stop there. Baal Hadad, right? Which is from the Ugaritic mythos. He says Baal Hadad was at Mount Sinai and that Moshe communicated with Baal at Mount Sinai. Now you're going to see it in the video because the video is how much is, I think it's 30 minutes long. I'm going to critique it. I'm not going to critique everything, but best believe I have a slide for everything that he said that is untrue. Now, things he said that are true, I'm not going to touch it. Anything he said that was not true, I got several slides to address that. So whenever he decides to come on this platform or invites me over to his platform, I'll have the PowerPoint ready and we can go to work. Because not only did I see that video, which is actually 54 minutes long, but I cut it down to 28 minutes and I'm going to show it to y'all on here. But I also went back and watched all his other videos and took notes of everything he was saying. Some things I'm like, yeah, he's true. Some things I'm like, why'd you do that? That's conjecture. That is a deference. That is misinformation. That source hasn't been vetted. And then he made that follow-up video saying, yeah, the Israelites have challenged me now that they saw my last video. So, look at all these books that I got. And then I started seeing his sources that I'm like, oh, okay, that's where the misinformation comes from. Then towards the end of it, he starts showing his masonry, speculative and operative masonry garb, right? And I said, oh, okay, I'm thoroughly familiar with that paradigm. So much so that when I dialogue with him, I'm going to use a lot of idioms from the Masonic jargon. You know why? Because I want people to see that us Israelites, we're not these dummies that you think are just on a corner yelling. We take diligent time to study and diligent time to put in field work, go to conferences, talk to experts in the field. I know several people who are Masons. I'm not no Mason myself, but I know several people are Masons. You know why? Because I need to know the information that they know that they're promulgating to the community. So when I encounter them, I know how to speak their language. When I deal with a Nubian, I speak their language. When I deal with a Moor, I speak their language. But there's different types of Moors, right? You have Moor Science Temple of America, and then you have the Moors that adopt white sovereignty. Two different types of Moors, and there's even subgroups within there. The Kemetic community, in regards to Egypt, I'm part of the American Research Center in Egypt. I go to their conferences virtually now that COVID has happened, and their courses that they teach on Egypt. These are the world-renowned scholars in the subject matter coming together, presenting new information based on new research. I'm there. I'm part of that. Biblical archaeology, I'm also part of several organizations of that. Same thing. African Jewry, part of that as well. So we go and we do our due diligence to study and research. So the things that people say does not catch us by surprise. When I hear people say things, I'm like, oh, I know where they got that from. I teach my students all the time. Your objective is to discover the provenance of an idea or thought, And then you follow the breadcrumbs back to that idea of thought. And then now you vet the source of that idea of thought. And then you see if that person is biased or non-biased, if there's an agenda, if they're trying to sell you something, and they're trying to build an organization or whatever the case may be, and if they're credentialed in that arena. That's why the papers that I've done, being that I'm not a PhD, I get people who are PhDs to co-sign them. And they put my name is there, and then their name is there as well. And I work through them. Say, here's the information, format it for me, make it look good, and it's presented out there. That's how we work. So when I hear people say information, and then you show me your books, and I take screenshots of your books, and I'm like, oh, you got Malachi Z. York? No daggers towards Malachi Z. York, but okay, I see where you got that from. Oh, you have this random source on the web? Oh, okay. All right, cool. So you did not use a crap test for any of this, but it's okay. All right. And again, no shade to Dr. Malachi Z. York. Some stuff he taught was brilliant, but some stuff he did when it comes to the Bible, it just was lacking. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're supposed to do. When we are in this community, our job is that wherever our elders have failed, we are to pick up the mantle and the torch and keep it pushing, right? On their shoulders, we build and we become greater, right? We should never not be greater than our masters, our teachers, our mores. Our objective is to be greater. And if your more or teacher is not allowing you to be great, then they're not a good teacher. I teach my students to teach me. That's how it works. That's the cycle of knowledge. So I'm going to play this video for you. I'm going to call out several untruths. I was going to do 33, but I'm going to limit it down to 3. 3 times 3, which is 6 times 3 is 9. So I'm going to stick on 3s. Those of you who want to know, you know what I'm talking about, okay? And we're going to take a travel. We're going to take a journey. We're going to become a journeyman or a traveling man as we go through the litany of assertions that are made, many unsubstantiated, and we're going to ground them in fact. And what I'm going to do is just freestyle it. I'm going to freestyle it, maybe pull some things up, but I'm going to wait with the PowerPoint. PowerPoint right now is 38 slides, but I'm going to build it up to at least 100. So when he comes on here, source at the source, methodology, vet. You're going to be like, yo, that's crazy. Yeah. And then we're going to use the terms that he's familiar with. I'm going to use terms from the Circle 7 Quran, and I'm going to use terms from Masonry because he identifies with these terms. So I'm going to use these terms because he also mentioned the 3 ruffians. And if those of you who have been to the 3, I call it schools of thought, but 3 levels of Masonry in the Blue Lodge, you know what I'm saying? The apprentice, the fellow Mason, and then your master Mason. And you go through here, you know, the 3 ruffians is within the ritual, which you have to study and understand the ritual. Rituals are keys. And you use the key to unlock something to build you from a rough ashlar to a smooth ashlar. That is the purpose of it. Coming in raw and making you upright. And then the Moors were designed to bring illumination to the ironclad hand of oppression that was in Europe. This stuff we already know. We go to the Circle 7 Quran. We go to the realms of Masonry, and we speak the language they speak to reach them when they act so they can see we're no dummies. And I'm not going to address somebody unless I'm built to respond to any kind of counterattacks. So without further ado, let me take one quick intermission. I'll be right back with y'all, and we're going to dive right into this. We're not playing games. All right. And I'm going to do so respectively. No ad hominem towards the brother. Like I say, he's brilliant. He's smart. Just some things he just made some errors on. You know what I'm saying? The brother also believes in extraterrestrials and talks about the Space Federation and other beings and other galaxies. And that's his prerogative. If that's what the brother teaches, fine. I know about all of that stuff, but I don't teach that. I don't subscribe to it. But if that's your cup of tea, that's your cup of tea. You feel what I'm saying? People say, well, we can find extraterrestrials in the Bible. Okay, if that's your approach, fine. But if you're going to present the information, present it thoroughly. Present it meticulously. Because somebody is going to hear something from the opposing community that is going to fact check what you're saying. And saying, brother, I hear you said this, but you know that's not true. I mean, how can you say Baal Hadad was at Mount Sinai when Baal Hadad is only found in Ugaritic mythos and Baal Hadad is at Mount Safan? That is nowhere near Sinai. Okay, let me stop. It's just basic information when you read the Ugaritic tablets. I want to see if he reads Ugaritic. And those of you interested in Ugaritic, we have the course on the Patreon. Sign up for a $50 tier or more, and you get access to Ugaritic. And then we're going to bring up the word bank. We're going to bring out the glossary. We're going to bring out the text, and we're going to go through it. Whenever somebody mentions Sumerian, I gave you the catalog. The website is on the Patreon. You can access every catalog cuneiform that's been cuneiform tablet that's been extracted from out of Sumeria, as well as the Akkadian tablets, as well as the Mari, the Ebla tablets, the Amarna texts, Egyptian. I give you the websites that either are free or that I pay for. I give you access to fact check any information that come across your screen. See, this is the problem. They think Israelites are high school dropouts, ex-felons, just come home from prison. We're just on a screen corner yelling and screaming. But there's some brothers that are in these camps that are very intelligent and they handle themselves very well. And I got to give that to them. But then those of us like me that are behind the scenes, think tanks, we're think tanks here. You know what a think tank is? Think tank is not your ordinary person spewing information. A think tank is the person who does social engineering with the information, meaning that our people need to be here. So I take this information to bring us here, and I use it to socially engineer the community so we can move towards the right direction. That's what think tanks do. The oppressors have their own think tanks that work against us. We need to create our own think tanks to work out information so that way we can pull the scales off our people's eyes so we can progress as a people. Okay. Let me slow down for a second. Let me slow down. All right. Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me take my break. Hold on. Somebody's saying something in here. Let me see. Who's saying something in here? Mark says, how can we be autonomous through our enemy's technologies? If we are to be autonomous, how would that be possible if your platform is controlled? What makes you think I only have this platform? Oh, you think I'm on here telling you everything we're doing? Oh, okay, cool. All right. So maybe you want to start up with the organization and see what we're doing behind closed doors. You think I'm telling everything? You think that's what we're doing, my brother? You don't think that there's some of us that's on an IT? You know I'm an IT professional, right? By trade, I'm an IT solutions engineer. That role is 6 figures. I have a specialty role in the realm of IT, right next to the solutions architect, which I was in the midst of training for until, they started doing all of this stuff last year in regards to outsourcing so they can furlough full-time employees. I was a contractor. So what makes you think that I don't know anything about technology, my brother? What makes you think that the black mind cannot produce something that can compete in on the level greater? Matter of fact, I should show you some inventors within America and in Africa that are putting in work from rudimentary items. Okay? So don't think we just have this platform. We just use this platform because most of our people watch this platform. Don't think it's the only platform we have. My brother, I brought other people on the show who have Hebrew Sphere and Kahal Nation, which is our own social media platforms. And those could be run on independent servers via VPNs, peer-to-peer network groups. My brother, we know how to get down with this. Let's not get into technology. That is my field of study, my brother. So don't think because what you see is everything you get. It don't work that way. Why would we tell everybody everything we're doing? That sounds crazy. You think we want to get tagged out before we even get off the ground? How does that work? I'm not going to talk about the solution anymore. We are the solution. If you want to find out, you sign up just like everybody else, and you would be willing to put into work. I don't want to hear you complaining. If you have a solution, sign up and partner up with us, and let's get busy. So you can keep saying what you're saying in there. If the mods time you out, I have nothing to do with me. That's up to their discretion. But if you have a solution in IT technologies, because I told people about mobile virtual network operators that we can get those. I told y'all about the Black Phone, which is now Silent Circle, that you can create your own software. We have developers in KHM. What are you talking about, my brother? And it's no offense to you. Maybe it's a sincere, genuine inquiry, but don't think that we have not covered that. I even have videos on here that talk about why Black Wall Street failed and what we can do today to counter that. Why do you think we're working internationally? Why are you thinking we're getting governmental and non-governmental contracts so we can learn how things work and we can gather the resources as an aggregationist and build our own community? Think about that, my brother. You think I'm just on here yelling? Did you not hear me say think tank? You know what think tank means, my brother? You consider everything, all the variables, and you continuously scan and survey because we got people in high places. We got people. We connected, my brother. We got Nehemiahs over here. We got Esther's and Mordecai's over here. We got Yosef's over here. Y'all probably don't got those. We got those people in those places telling us what's going on, what's coming down the pipe. That's what think tanks do. That's what Nation Builder is about. You have to have your information technology. That's what IT is. Information technology squad that are surveying these things, my brother. So, my brother, if you want to get down, holler at us. We are built for this. We just need the support. But even without the support, we're going to do what we can with the little that we got. That's all. And if you want to be part of the solution, partner with us. All right. And this is just real talk, my brother. No offense. Hope you're not offended. But I'm talking to you straight because I want people to understand that these are things we have considered. And if you've watched this platform from 2014 when we established till now, you'll see we have addressed all this stuff. And then I was guest on other shows because, I like supporting smaller platforms where we talk about technology, my brother. Did you know that we're working on a patent for a force field? Okay, let me not say too much about that. Okay. And again, I talked about this previously, but let me not talk about this. All right. Yes, y'all getting on me saying he was sincere. I appreciate your brother Mark. Again, don't take what I'm saying too harsh. I'm just being direct with you because this is not the time to play with our people now. So they have to understand that we have alternative solutions. Like I said, I work in IT. Remember I told y'all about the black phone? That's now the silent circle, how you can have encryption-based communications where you have a key or token authentication on this end, two-way, this way and back, where you need a key to decrypt, and the key closes it out, so it encrypts it over to the other line, which means no carrier can decrypt what we say from peer to peer. And we can run this off of our own servers. Okay. All right. Scott, we already on that. We're already on that. That's going to be one of the upcoming projects for our PMs. We're going to have that because that's our community currency. I spoke about this before in the past, community currency. If you don't have your own community currency, your community will fail. Simple as that. And the value is based on the sweat equity and the laboring of the village as a collective, not the individual. Okay. All right, let me take a break. I'll be right back. Let me take 45 minutes. Let me knock out this video. And then when I'm done, then I'll open up to Q&A and we can have a discussion about it. All right. All right, family. So just give me one moment. I'll be right back with y'all. All right. So I got my kale chips here. Some veggie straws. I'm about to enjoy this show just like y'all. And let's get it popping. All right, let me go ahead and play the video. Let me grab it. All right, let's get started. I'm gonna go ahead and play this video. Yeah, I muted it. That's why there's no audio. I muted it, but I'm back. I'm back. All right, I'm about to share it right now, okay? Here we go.
I want to see if I can bring you back to earth. We were talking with the Hebrew Israelites over at 5 Points in Atlanta today. Right. Great conversation. Right. They saw you, and I think you stood out more than anybody else today from what I saw, but they didn't acknowledge you. They didn't challenge you. They were pulling people out the crowd and, hey, you over there. They were talking crowd, and you were looking them in the face.
The one Persian brother over there.
And they wouldn't even look you in the eyes. Yeah. So you called them over to you.
Right.
Y'all spoke a little bit, and you had your shirt tucked in. You didn't challenge him.
No, I was coming humbly.
You were very humble.
I was coming humbly, you know. I don't brag and boast of supreme understanding, you know what I mean? So I just want to see what the brothers are going to say. I was asking the brothers, okay, you say tribe of Israel. Now, the untrained person will think that the country Israel was in 1920-something after World War I. Not that Israel, right? Not even Palestine. Palestine, under British mandate, it was set up and established. So we're not talking about that particular location, but a biblical narrative or a biblical character named Jacob, who wrestled with an angel all night through his hip out the socket. And he begged the angel to bless him. And before the angel departed, he said, your name will no longer be Jacob, but it will be Israel. Cool. So now Israel and his 5-6 baby mamas.
Okay, wait. Somebody says that the mic is the mic too low? I'm looking here on the on my phone. Is the mic too low? Is that what y'all saying? Can y'all hear it? Let me know if you can hear it, because I'm about to start addressing the things that he's saying. Tracy H, yes, you definitely can. You definitely can, and we will. Audio is fine. Okay, so y'all can hear it. Okay, all right. Let me play it again.
They frolic and they have several children, and let's start with the first three: Levi, Simon, and Reuben, which sonically are the three ruffians who wanted the secrets.
Now, let's go back to what he just said.
Cool. So now Israel and his 5-6 baby mamas, they frolic.
He said Israel had 5 to 6 baby mamas. Now, even that is untrue, because even if you look on the screen, it's only 4 people here. But that's nitpicking.
They have several children, and let's start with the first 3: Levi, Simon, and Reuben.
So wait. So he said Levi, Simon, and Reuben, that these 3 represent the 3 ruffians. Now, if you don't know who the 3 ruffians is, that's part of a Masonic ritual, okay? Where you are roughed up by 3 people, all right? And then you have to knock, identify. Well, you knock first when you come in, you get roughed up. And then that is supposed to unveil you being in your ragged state and then you being brought into your upright state, right? But you get beat up by 3 people first. He's saying that Reuben, Simeon, and Levi, or Reuben, Simeon, and Lewi, were the 3 ruffians in the Masonic ritual of the 3 ruffians. Now, I hear him say that. I would love for him to show us a Masonic manual that explains who those 3 ruffians or those 3 people. Now, he may say, well, you're not in those degrees yet. How do you know? I'm asking you for a reference because there's documentation for any degree that you're in that reveals it to you. But we have to keep it esoterically. Therefore, you can't promote stuff that we can't peer review. Because how can we validate what you're saying is true or untrue? Okay, let's play.
Masonically are the 3 ruffians who wanted the secrets from Tar. And the only one who was able to decipher what was called a Metanetter was the Levitical priesthood.
Slow down. He said the only one that was able to decipher the Levitical, able to decipher the Medunetia or the hieroglyphics or Middle Egyptian language was Levi. Okay. Where are you getting this from? Sincerely, where is this coming from? What source are you getting this from? Now, if you say Moses, what she's about to say, was learning all the ways of Egypt, that's from the Brit Hadashah, New Testament. That's from Second Temple Judaism vantage point of what was going on in during Moshe's time, right? But if you're saying it's Moshe, then okay, so Moshe was learned in the Medunetia, which he would know if he grew up in Misraim, he would know that, right? However, he's from the tribe of Lewi. It wasn't Lewi who deciphered no Medunetia. Where is this coming from? Can you show that? What source is this coming from? Okay, let's continue.
Later in the Bible, they show up as the Pharisees and Sadducees.
So he says later on in the Bible, the Levitical priest shows up as Pharisees and Sadducees. Yes and no. You have to know the intertestamental history by means of the books of Maccabees to understand what happened during that time period that gave rise to the Pharisees, Sadducees, right? All the Pharisees and Sadducees were not Levites. You want a good example of that? Well, if some of y'all like the New Testament, Paul was a Benjamite and also a Pharisee. So it wasn't exclusive to the Levites. Okay.
Classes of the Kohens, priests, the one who Jesus challenged, and Jesus called them the devil. This is a plot where the woman was about to get stoned to death.
Oh, Captain, save them all.
And Jesus walked in there and said, "Ye without sin cast the first stone." Now the crowd dropped their stones after Jesus drew something in the sand. The Pharisees and the Sadducees kept their stone in their hand and they began to question Jesus.
Slow down. Let's see if that is correct. Let me bring up the text. Let's see if that's correct. Let's see if that's correct. Let me bring this up on my screen real quick. Let me zoom in. All right, here's a story right here. All right, it says the scribes and the Pharisees, not the Sadducees. The scribes and the Pharisees brought a woman who had been caught in adultery. And again, just so y'all know, this story is in later manuscripts. It is an identified interpolation that was an oral tradition that made its way into the text in later manuscripts, right? It's called the adulterae comma, just like the Johannine comma, adulterae comma, meaning adulterate comma, meaning that this particular passage, if you go to some critical edition Bibles, they won't even have this in there because their weight is on earlier manuscripts. This is a much later manuscript. So we can get into manuscript evidence if he wants to talk about that. I don't know if he's there, but we can talk about that. But let's keep reading, right? Teacher, this woman's been caught in the act of adultery. Now in the law, Moses commanded us to stone such women. So what do you say? They said this to test him, that they might have some charge to bring against him. He bent down, wrote a finger on the ground. As they continued to ask him, he stood up and said to them, let him who is without sin among you be the first to throw a stone at her. And once more, he bent down, wrote on the ground. But when they heard it, they went away one by one, beginning with the older ones. And Yeshua was left alone with the woman standing before him. Left alone with the woman standing before him. Now, what I want him to do is go into the Greek and show me where that word alone has been inserted by the translators, or if it actually is represented here in the Greek. Keyword is alone. That means nobody was standing there after they were done, standing with stones in their hand. Everybody left one by one, and it was just him and her. And let me prove it. Let's keep reading. All you gotta do is read context. Let's keep reading. He says, he stood up and says, woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you? Now, didn't the scribes and the Pharisees, not the Sadducees, didn't they accuse her? He says, where are they? Why would he say that if they're still standing there with stones in their hand? Okay, let's stop there. Let's go back to the videotape. Let's go back to the video. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. And again, shout out to the conscious chef, Minister of Information. Brother, I tried to reach out for a discussion and give you an opportunity to represent yourself, but you decided not to respond back to me on Instagram. And then I even replied to the comment you made to my comment on Instagram. You decided not to reply back to me. So therefore, I'm doing this, and in hopes that you'll see it and really want to sit down and build. And you're out here in Atlanta. Let's do it face to face. If you're in Atlanta, I got a videographer. We can get it popping. Sit down face to face. We could put all the sources aside and just build if you want. Or I could come there with my entire library. I got over 3,000 to 4,000 books. Just digital library. Don't forget my physical library. I'm going to have one tablet. Anything you say, I'm going to pull up a source and say, okay, hold on. Wait, hold on. Where's that at? What? Okay. All right. Where's that at? Source here. Oh, you want to put the book? All right, put the books off the dome. Crazy. Let's get back to the source. Because we can off the dome crazy all the time, but we can't get anywhere unless we're grounded by some kind of barometer to measure if what we're saying is true or untrue, if it's an assertion or an actual claim. So if you're out here in Atlanta, because I know Crumb TV's out in Atlanta, Minister of Information, I think he's out in Atlanta as well. Let's meet up and have a dialogue. Everything that you shared in that video, I'm familiar with all that information. You know why? Because I went through the school of thought of Nuwabians, right? Studied, broke bread with them, built with them, read almost all of Dr. Malachi York's books, and with my Moorish brothers that get into the esoteric sciences, even the ones who are Masons. I went through all the information. And you know what else? I got those schools of thought to give me material off the rip. So anything you say, I'll bring it up. Even the extraterrestrial stuff you talk about, my brother, I got all of that. That's the, when I hear that stuff, I'm like, okay, it's nothing new to me. Like I'm already on to game. I don't play games with this. I've been doing this for a long time, right? And I don't know how old you are, my brother. I have no clue, but I'm almost 40. I've been doing this for a long time, right? So only thing that I say and only thing that I want to address, whatever, anything else you teach, I don't mind it. Even if it's right or wrong, I don't care. But when you come to sit down and break bread with the Israelite community, just know you're going to have to be extremely meticulous and thorough because somebody is going to fact check you. And tonight, that somebody is me, my brother, in all love. I'm not trying to debate you unless you want to go there. It's up to you. I just want to have a dialogue on all the things you said that was incorrect. And these are little things now. We're going to get to some bigger things. These are just little things right now. All right. So, and the only reason why I'm doing this is because you put the challenge out there. I'm not just picking on you just to pick on you. You put the challenge out there. All right. So let's continue.
Jesus stood on his square the whole time by himself.
Stood on his square. Again, another Masonic reference.
No disciples around, just Jesus. And Jesus basically told them, I'm telling y'all who the fuck I am.
Now, you see, excuse me, family, for the explicit language, he may say a couple of those things. So if you have children, please just be mindful. But as you can see, he's just saying, I'm telling you who the bleep I am, right? Now, just keep in mind the biasness of the platform, whereby the images they're showing look like what you see here on the screen. Who the heck is this man right here? Is that Yeshua Bar Yosef historically? Anthropologists won't even agree with this. Who is this man right here? Who are these people you showing us on the screen? It's not accurate. But again, it's the things that they're provoking in your mind. This is subliminal manufacturing. Manufacturing your thought form subliminally, that while you're listening to information, they're showing us images to disconnect you from the information that's coming forth in regards to the characters in the story that's being told. It's a subliminal technique to disconnect you, because you look at this and say, wait, they white, I'm black, so yeah, I agree with you. I know that. I know how that works. You know, I've done marketing before. I know how that works. So just keep that in mind, family, all right? Let's keep going.
Are your ears not circumcised? I am who I say I am.
Are your ears not circumcised? Interesting. Let me see if that's in the text. That is in no way connected to that same story, just for the record. But let's see if that's in the text. Let's see if he ever said that in the text. Let's do a search. Let's see. Let's see what comes up when we do a search for that. Oh, it's not there. Ear circumcised does not exist. See, secondary ears, they're circumcised. Okay, so he's just freestyling. Okay, I guess he's paraphrasing. All right, cool. Let's write that off as a paraphrase. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Again, I could do this all day. All day.
And Jesus told them, now you seek to kill me, a man. Jesus confessed that he was a man. He said, you seek to kill me, a man who is telling y'all the truth. And these are the same Pharisees and Sadducees that Jesus had encountered when he came out of where? Egypt. Jesus came out of Egypt during his bar mitzvah.
Wait. Hold on. Let's slow down for a second. Now, mind you, family, I'm not a Christian, but if something is untrue, it's just untrue. He said Jesus came out of Egypt during his bar mitzvah. All right. So the first thing I want you to show me is the word bar mitzvah in the text. Matter of fact, let's do a search for bar mitzvah in the Bible. Let's see if it's there. Let's see if it's there. All right, let's see if it's there. I'm going to do a search. And if you do a regular search, let me show you what you find. Check it out. See it? I'm going to let y'all read that. This is I'm just trying to figure out where he's getting this information from. Oh, but you know where I know he's getting it from? The Gnostic Gospels, the Nag Hammadi Library. I know where you're getting some pseudepigrapha. I know where you're getting this information from, because some of this was actually used in the Circle 7 Quran. Okay. Oh, I got that too, by the way. I just did a simple search. I didn't even go to my library yet. I'm freestyling. All right, so let's stop there. Let's keep going. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
13, because Jesus at that time.
So he said 13. Let's go into the text. Let's go back. Let's go back to the text. All right. Matter of fact, let me do this. Let me put my and put my Bluetooth on, Bluetooth speaker. So I don't have to keep moving this mic. Just put it right here. Let's see. Let's see if it plays from here.
Got crowned.
Okay, there we go. All right. So let's take a look. Let's take a look real quick. Let's see what's going on. Again, this is just basic stuff, right? Let's see. Let's see if he was. Let's go to Luke chapter 2. Let's see. This is the reference that we have in regards to his age. Let's take a look. And then we're going to get back to Matthew chapter 2. We're going to see about this Egypt thing. Let's see if he was in Egypt for that age. But let's go to Luke chapter 2, verse 42. This is just basic stuff, right? Let me show it to you on the screen. And when he was 12 years old. Now, if you can find me another reference in the text that shows that Yeshua was 13 years old, I'm open to game. I'm open. Just show it to me. Matter of fact, let's go here. Let's do this. If you don't know where he's getting this information from, just stay tuned. I'm going to show you where all of the sources is for this stuff, family, and why it's laughed out of academia. But I'm going to show you the sources in the PowerPoint if the brother agrees to have the dialogue. I'm going to show you where this is coming from. Okay? You got the Aquarian gospel, the gospel of Thomas, and gospel of Barnabas, and the Nag Hammadi library, and the pocket. I'm gonna show you all this stuff is coming from. It's bits and pieces, and you'll find some of this also in the Circle 7 Quran, which I'm gonna lay out for the brother, and we're gonna go through the Circle 7 Quran as well and show you where some of those sources come from. But that's just me. Much respect to Noble Drew Ali. He tried his best to get his people to a position where they could be politically powerful today. And shout out to some of my Moorish brothers and sisters who are putting in that work today. All I'm saying is, family, vet sources. Anytime you hear a assertion, have them substantiate it so it can become a claim. See if it's founded or unfounded. So let's go to Luke chapter 2 and verse 42. What I'm going to show you is something called cross references. Anybody can do this. And let's see if there's anywhere else in the text that mentions Yeshua's age of 13, if it even exists. Let's see. Luke 2:42, and the only cross reference you got is Luke 2:41, the verse before, and Luke 2:43, the verse after. That's it. Where are you getting 13 years old at? Where's the word bar mitzvah anywhere in the text? Where's it at? Where's this at? Do you know the origin of a bar mitzvah? Where that came from? Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Let's go back to the video, man. And we're going to deal with the Egypt thing. Let me play the rest of it out. We're going to deal with the Egypt thing. All you got to do is read the text.
Or anointed, as they say in Egypt, as the match.
Hold on. Listen to this.
Egypt during. Now, these are the same Pharisees and Sadducees that Jesus had encountered when he came out of where? Egypt. Jesus came out of Egypt during his bar mitzvah at 13, because Jesus at that time had got crowned or anointed, as they say in Egypt, as the Mashiach.
Wait. Now slow down. Then we have this obscure reference. I know where it's from, with no bibliography on it, no source citation, just some random thing thrown on the screen, right? He says at 13 in his bar mitzvah, Jesus was crowned as the Messiah or the Mashiach. Where did this happen at? What are you reading? Oh, I know what you're reading. I know exactly where you're getting this from. Okay. There's a source. Whenever somebody shows something like this to me with no source citation, no bibliography, no footnote, no author, no page number, come on, man. Then I got to do a Google search and find out what this is. And I said, oh, I see where you got it from. Read this on the screen. Crocodile fact. I want to know what house. You didn't think I knew about that. You know, Pharaoh's house, where you have the glyph that looks like this. That means the house of Paro or Pharaoh or the Nisut. And sometimes you have the attribute Nisut Biti. What house? If he was anointed, what priesthood anointed him? The Amun-Ra priesthood? the priesthood over the Memphite theology school. What location was he anointed at? Yes, there's crocodiles along the Nile, but there was only certain groups that did this type of anointing. So you got to give me those details. I'm going to ask you for those details because you put the claim out. You got to show it to us. Let us see all your sources. Maybe you're trying to get people to think outside the box. Okay, but give sources. That's all we asking, so we can fact check what you're saying. I dare you to show me a source that could be authenticated through the lens of research methodology, peer review, and in the realm of academia that can validate for us that Yeshua came out of Egypt at the age of 13, crowned as the Messiah. Where's this at? Show it to me. Now let's just keep reading this. No, check this out, family. Let's just read the source that flashed real fast. The English word Messiah originated also from the Hebrew and Aramaic mashi, which in its form as a verb, mashe means to anoint. This word is of Egyptian origin, where Messi, the letters S in Egyptian is equivalent to the sh in Hebrew and Aramaic, signify the ritual of anointing ancient Egyptian kings. Check it. By this notion, Jesus was an ancient Egyptian king. It says, with the fat of crocodiles, as was the tradition with all kings in ancient Egypt since at least 2700 BCE. Anointing was a ritual or the coronation of the Egyptian king. Thus, the Christ Messiah means the anointed one who is the king. So was he anointed via the Ruach, or was he anointed with crocodile fat and smeared on his head? Because if he was, then he's an Egyptian king. So you tell me an Egyptian king was sent back to Jerusalem to be the king of the Jews and not of Kemet or Misraim? That is really interesting. That is extremely interesting. This is news to me. But let's keep going. This is the Minister of Information, y'all.
Word Mashiach means crocodile fat, which is a ceremony that they melt the crocodile fat and they anoint you with the oil of the crocodile. Crocodiles only found in Egypt. Nile crocodile. Alligators in America. So the Nile crocodile fat gets melted, and there's a statue of Sobek.
Sobek, look it up. And again, in the Patreon, I think I have a book that touches on the Egyptian deities. All right.
Obek, and a small boy. The word Mashiach means Messiah or anointed.
Damn,
one with oil. And for all my Masons.
But why is that so deep, though? So in some Masonic lodges, they have Psalm 133 up, where it talks about the anointing, the oil that runs down Aaron's head down to his beard. Masons know what this means and what it represents as far as the priesthood is concerned. And I'm thoroughly familiar with that. So I would love to go into the Masonic manual if you want, so we can actually discuss these signs and symbols, if this is the direction he wants to go. However, you see damn Gina as if this is some kind of deep revelation. This is like basic stuff. Like, well, when I say basic stuff, I mean to people who are Israelites that really study, like we know all of the stuff. Like we know what the anointing means. We know what that goes to. We know different forms it takes, the cognates and all of that. We know about this. It's not a secret. It's not a mystery. Like, let's go back to, I like what he said. Damn, Gina, that was dope. Check it out.
And there's a statue of Sobek, S-O-B-E-K, and a small boy. The word Mashiach means Messiah or anointed.
Damn,
one with oil. And for all my Masons, when we talk about
that's dope,
the oil ran down the beard of Aaron, who was also a priest who got initiated with the oil on his head. That oil is called Mashiach or the Messiah. So Jesus comes out of Egypt as the Mashiach, goes into the temple as a young boy and argued with the Kohen. Rabbi.
He argued with them. Let's see if that's true. Let's see if he argued with them. And here, listen, I'm banging for Christianity now, and those who believe in historical messianism, right? I'm banging for y'all, right? Check it out. Verse 46, after 3 days, they found him in the temple, sitting among the teachers, listening to them and asking them questions. And all who heard him were amazed at his understanding and his answers. Where's the word argue there? If you want to get into the Greek, we can do that because we know the Greek over here. So English, show it to me in the translation, and then show me the Greek. Where's the word argue at? I'll wait. I'll give a few seconds. I'll wait. Oh, it's not there? Okay, cool. No problem. You know, we all make mistakes. It's all good. All right, let's go back to the videotape. Let's go back to the videotape.
And they asked, who was this young boy? And it was profound at his knowledge that he got from Egypt. So my thing with the Hebrew Israelites is because they bang, they go hard on Hotep niggas.
Now, I don't use that term at all. But yes, there are some of my associates that do use that term, but I don't use that term.
They don't like Hotep. They go hard on Hotep brothers by saying that the Egyptians were a bunch of idol worshipers. It tears my heart to hear such babble. They see Moors, and Moors are proclaiming to be of the tribe of Moab, which is the first lesson that any Mason learn is the Moabite is Ruth. Eastern Stars learned about Ruth too, on the Moabites. And I have mixed feelings with that as well. Okay. Because if you're telling us that we're descendants of Moabites, who was the mother of Moab?
Sodom and Gomorrah.
There we go. Sodom and Gomorrah. So you end up.
Sodom and Gomorrah was the mother of Moab? What? Okay, let's go back. Let's fact check that. Let's fact check it. I didn't know that. That's news to me. Also, Lot's daughters is also a sect in Freemasonry because you have Lot's daughters, you have Eastern Stars, you have several others. So let's see if Lot's daughters were Sodom and Gomorrah or something along those lines. I just want to see. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. Let's go to Better Sheep chapter 19, verse 36. Okay. Because from what I know, that's not what they're called. But I understand his concern in regards to tracing back to Moabite according to the biblical narratives. Now, if you read the Misha Stela, you get to see some evidence from Moab speak for itself and other sources, obscure sources from Moab speaking for itself. But this is the eponymous ancestral story that the Israelites are crafting up for identity purposes. So another group may say, well, yeah, that's what you say the Moabites are, but we don't agree that's where we came from. And then if that's how they want to feel, that's how they want to feel. We're entrusted with information that we're passing now. And I'm willing to be objective enough to say, okay, let's go outside of that and show me any source that says Sodom and Gomorrah were the mothers of Moab and Ammon. I just didn't know that. So I'm looking here. Let me bring it up on the screen. Bring it up on the screen. Again, this is new stuff. Like, I didn't know about this stuff. You know, let's go to screen. Better Sheep chapter 19. So they got their father to drink wine that night also. And the younger daughter went in and slept with him. Again, he was not aware of it when she lay down or when she got up. So both of Lot's daughters became pregnant by their father. The older daughter had a son, and she named him Moab. He is the father of the Moabites today. And the younger daughter also had a son, and she named him Ben-Ami. He is the father of the Ammonites today. So where's Sodom and Gomorrah here? Now, if we want to scroll up, scroll up, right? And read the entire chapter, then you'll learn about Sodom and Gomorrah being judged. But what does this have to do with Moab? It's because of that incident that Lot retreated away from the city that was destroyed with just his daughters, and they took advantage of their father and they had children. So if you want to say, as a result of Sodom and Gomorrah getting destroyed, that is what forced them to migrate and for the incident to occur, the ancestral incident to occur that gave birth to Moab. That I understand that, but Okay, so let's go. Let's go. Let's stop. Let's keep going, man. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. All right, look, let's keep going, man. Y'all going in the chat. That's cool. Let's keep going. All right, check it out.
With the story of Lot being the father of Moab.
Again, keep in mind the imagery.
And Lot's daughters being the mother of Moab.
Moab was born from incest.
Incest. Then you get Ruth, who gave up her nationality. Because Boaz was an Ishmaelite, not an Israelite. He was.
Boab was an Ishmaelite. Okay, what I'm gonna do is ask somebody in the audience. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm unlearned. Can somebody please give me the verse that says that Boaz was an Ishmaelite? I'll wait. I'm gonna wait 1 second. I'll wait. Anybody got that verse yet? Okay. Maybe I need to give y'all some incentive, right? So let's do a $10 Cash App to anybody that can find that verse for me. Oh, man, you can't even see the screen because it's green. But anyway, it's a $10 Cash App for anybody that can find that verse that tells me that Boaz was an Ishmaelite. I'll wait. And if it's not there, then we got to ask them, what's your source? I'm waiting. I'll give you another 10 seconds. Genesis 208, chapter 208, verse 45. And therefore, Boaz was an Ishmaelite. Aisha Cole said, first you said the dude was going to say some facts. I mean, I just try to give the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? Okay, so you're saying it's not there. Are you saying it's not there? Are you saying it's not there? Ah, okay, it's not there. Okay. You see, even my audience. Now look, just be prepared. Divine is a package deal. What do you mean by that? If me and you dialogue, you see that chat, they're going to be there. Whether it's here, another platform, or we streaming live in person, which I prefer, face to face. Let's do it. You think I'm a problem? I'm part of a collective stream of knowledge. It comes, the source is up there, and then it trickles down to everybody you see in this chat, and then a portion comes to me as well. So it's a package deal. So just keep that in mind. You're not just dealing with one person. This entire chat has been here for a while. Most people in here are smarter than Divine. I'm just a spokesman for the community, right? All I'm simply saying is there are those of us who are extremely studied. You cannot just say anything and we're going to eat it up and then say, I opened up the challenge to Israelites. Are you sure about that? Because you may want to be selective on that and only want to deal the ones that you know won't be able to address these things. But if you come here, it's not going to be comfortable for you. It's just not, my brother. You're going to be challenged to your wit's end because whatever I don't know, they know. You see this? They know. That's my database right there, that chat. But let's continue. Let's continue.
The Ishmaelites. So with the Hebrew Israelites, always condemning and talking down to anybody that deal with the Hotepism of ancient Eucupta. Or Egypt. I have to ask myself, wait a minute. So you got Jacob, who is the son of
Abraham.
Yes.
Jacob is not the son of Abraham, but let's keep going.
Abraham had another son named Ishmael, which makes Ishmael Jacob's uncle because Ishmael had 12 tribes. Israel also had 12 tribes. So anybody that was an Ishmaelite, including Hagar, the Egyptian, because that was his mother.
Let me back up.
Let's go back.
Wait, Hagar was an Ishmaelite? Quite possibly. Can somebody give me the verse where it says Hagar was an Ishmaelite? I just need some validation on that one. Anybody? Can somebody please show me a verse that says that Hagar is an Ishmaelite? I just want to see this. Now you know what? I'm gonna wait. Wait, I'm gonna wait. Somebody give me a verse that says that Hagar was an Ishmaelite. How is that possible? How is that possible? Well, let me just wait. Let me just wait. No, I'm just gonna wait, family. Again, I still got the $10. So if anybody can find these scriptures, please help your boy. If y'all can find these scriptures, y'all get $10. And remember, stay tuned to the end of the show where somebody will be winning a Amazon gift card just for tuning in. Okay. And if we get several more patrons to sign up where you can get all the information that I'm going to use to address this stuff and show you where the source of these claims come from, I'm going to be throwing up on Patreon, because everybody that subscribes to Patreon that sees our library in there, it's not a game. And I don't just put stuff on there that's in favor of what we believe. I put contrasting information in as well, so we could be equipped for dialogues like this. We don't keep our people dumb. This is not no cult following over here. Everything that I have and I do, I give. So somebody please find me the verse that says that Hagar was an Ishmaelite. I will wait. Yo, look at this. Yo. Hey, but you're gonna see the challenge goes out to us, as if we don't read or study or even go outside of our paradigm. Like, okay, let's keep going. I'm sorry, family. It might be me. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm not as read. It could be possible, but let's keep going. Let's keep going. And again, shout out to the brother. This is no disrespect to you, my brother.
Abraham
fornicates with
Hagar
at
the request of Sarah, because she couldn't have children
that time.
At that time,
Sarah was barren. But who was Sarah to Ibrahim? Sarah to Ibrahim was his niece. Because you have to go.
Sarah to Abraham was his niece. Okay, so I'm gonna wait for another scripture. Again, I'm gonna do $20 this time. Maybe I'm missing it. Somebody please show me the verse that says that Sarah was Abraham's niece. I'm gonna wait for that. I got $20 up right now. Let me get the $20. Let me delete this. Let's do $20. All right, $20 is here. I'll wait. I just want the verse. You get $20. Anybody in the chat? We got almost 250 people in here. Anybody in the chat, just give me the verse and I'll shoot you $20. And shout out to the family that donated via the Cash App. I appreciate that. So the challenges I give out tonight is going to be from the generous donations that we got from our viewers through the Cash App. So we got a good amount of funds here in the Cash App. I'm willing to give it out tonight. If somebody could just find me this information somewhere. All right. Okay. All right, let's keep going. I just want to make sure it's not me, because, you know, I got to be fact checked as well. So maybe, I don't know, but he's going to try to explain it. So let's listen to his explanation.
Go back to Tara. Once he died, he took over as the custodian or guardian for Sarah. Israelites, why y'all coming to Egypt so much? I'm gonna deal with Egypt in a minute.
Okay.
Ibrahim comes into Egypt, tries to pass off Sarah as his sister. It's really his wife. Pharaoh gets pissed off and say, "Nigga, you could have just told me." Pharaoh gave him a lot of land and some cattle. Said, "Hey, go over there with that shit." We don't practice incest in Egypt.
And keep in mind, you see, he's saying this is Pharaoh. Keep in mind the imagery now. All right. He's saying, Pharaoh said, "Yo, go over there with that bleep." Listen.
Go over there with that. Once Sarah and Ibrahim, you could have just told me. Pharaoh gave him a lot of land and some cattle. Said, "Hey, go over there with that shit." We don't practice incest in Egypt.
Whoa.
His wife. Pharaoh gets pissed off.
He says, "Go over there with that bleep. We don't practice incest in Egypt." So you're saying incest was a common practice within the lineage of Abraham. That's what he's proposing. So let's see if incest was practiced at all in ancient Egypt. I got great examples. I have a whole PowerPoint dealing with this, but since we're freestyling, anybody can look this up. Let's look up Ramses and let's see if Ramses had sex with his daughter. I'm gonna pull it up for you on the screen. Let's look on the screen. Again, I'm just freestyling. I got tons of sources on it, but we're just using the internet for now. Let's see if a simple Google search will produce any facts. If you didn't know who Bint Anath is, and again, Ramses II, who's one of the greatest pharaohs of all time, right? And again, go back and look at the source here. Remember, I told you, if you're going to look at Wikipedia, go back and look at the bibliography and vet that. But I have books, but check it out. Let's go see. Let's go see. Hold on. Benith Amath was likely born during the reign of her grandfather, Seti I. Her mother was Iset Nofret, one of the two prominent wives of Ramses II. Her name is Semitic, meaning daughter of Anath, referring to the Canaanite goddess Anath. She had at least three brothers, Ramesses, Kaemwaset, and Merneptah, and a sister who was named Iset Nofret after her mother. Bint Anath had a daughter who appears on the paintings in her tomb in the Valley of the Queens. She is unnamed there, but according to Joyce of Tidzoli, it is possible that her name was also Bint Anath, and she married the next pharaoh, Merneptah. Now that's interesting when we see here. It says she had at least three brothers, Merneptah or Merneptah, and it says that she married the next pharaoh, Merneptah. Interesting. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's see if we have it in here. Let's see if we have it on here. Let me see. Hold on. Let me get another source so we can see about Bint Anath. Here we go. Let's go ahead and see. Let's check it out. Let's go ahead and see. I'm going to let y'all see this. Y'all go back and vet it. Or just wait for the PowerPoint. Let me show it to y'all. Check it out. The Ramses II married daughters. The most suitable wife for a king of Egypt was the daughter of a king of Egypt. And Ramses II was a stickler for tradition. He ended up marrying no less than 4 of his daughters. They were Bint Anath, Marit Tamen, Nebet Tawi, and the relatively unknown Hentmar. Go look it up. And he had children with them too. Now let's look up another Nasut that I actually like. Let me look him up. Check up our boy Akhenaten. All right, let's see. Check it out. Let's give you another source. Remember, he said, get over there with that ish. We don't do that here. Scientists have identified Akhenaten, the heretic king who introduced monotheism to ancient Egypt, as Tutankhamun's father. Akhenaten first married Nefertiti, who was renowned for her great beauty but had no son. So then he married his sister in an effort to have a son. I have way more. And if you also want the reference to Egyptians eating their babies, I got that too during the first intermediate period. We got those sources, man. But nonetheless, let's keep going. Let's keep going. I want to keep going here. Again, I'm just freestyling. Don't think that what I'm showing you on the screen is what I'm coming with. I have real sources from real books and articles and interviews that I've never pulled out yet with experts in the field that I'm waiting for a debate so I can show it. But I'm showing you this because maybe you think, oh, you only got Wikipedia. Then maybe you're not familiar with this platform. Maybe you want to go back and check out some videos I got here first, and maybe read some of the material before you want to have a sit down, my brother. But nonetheless, let's keep on. Keep on.
Say, nigga, you could have just told me. Pharaoh gave him a lot of land and some cattle. Said, hey, go over there with that shit. We don't practice incest in Egypt. Go over there with that. Once Sarah and Ibrahim tried to produce a child, they can't. Sarah had to get pregnant by way of an Elohim. So now they're hand.
Whoa, he said Sarah got pregnant by way of Elohim. Okay, let's up that to $40 on here now. Let's do $40. All right, $40 here. Somebody can show me the passage where Sarah was impregnated by Elohim. I'll wait. I never read that before. I know this brother does Bible studies. Maybe I'm missing out on something. But if y'all can show me where Elohim had sex with Sarah and produced a child, I'll wait. I'm gonna wait. $40 on the line. Just show it to me. Just give me. Oh no, you're. Oh, it's not there. Shoot. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
They handmaiden.
Right, let's go back.
To produce a child, they can't. Sarah had to get pregnant by way of an Elohim. So
she had to get pregnant by way of an Elohim.
So now their handmaiden Hagar was given to them by the Pharaoh to go on a sojourn with them, right? Sarah says, hey, go fuck her. Abraham lays with Qatar or Hagar, right? And Sarah gets pissed off when she becomes pregnant, casts her out. Hagar goes away. She cries out to El Roy, her God in return.
Wait, her God is El Roy? Let's slow down. Slow down for a second, family. Hagar is from Egypt. And if she's crying out to her God, El Roy, please show me El Roy in any stele, wall inscription, papyri, or even artifact. Show me El Roy in ancient Egypt. If you can give that to me, I'll shoot you $50. Maybe I don't know. But I got $50 on the line. If anybody in the chat can find it, and if that brother can find it, he gets $50. Show me El Roy as a deity in Egypt. Her deity. That would be from the Egyptian pantheon. And he also mentions the Ogdod. Like, we don't know what that is, but we're gonna touch on it. But I want to know if El Roy is in Egypt somewhere. Give me a reference. Because I have databases, I get access. Do y'all want database access? Okay, we'll throw it on Patreon. You can go through almost all the catalog material that is in Egypt. And I want to see if El Roy is there. It's news to me. I didn't know that. And Roy is just an attribute. That's all it is. But let's keep going.
And Jill to tell her, don't worry about it. That seed is going to be blessed. Okay. With many nations. This is the first gift. Right. That seed was Ishmael. The angel tells her to return back unto Sarah and Abraham. So,
but didn't he say that Hagar was an Ishmaelite? How can she come from her son? I'm confused. Now I'm really confused.
Ishmael goes on to have 12 tribes.
This is the first son.
The first son of Ibrahim.
Okay.
The second son of Ishmael is Kedar. Kedar is important because the prophet Rasulullah Muhammad salam.
Keep in mind these terms, these people he's referring to. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna play it again. If y'all want this, I can put it in the Patreon.
Kedar is important because the prophet Rasulullah Muhammad salam comes from that bloodline of Kedar, the second son. Right. The Kadar people were dressed in all black. They were emulated in the movie The Mummy 1 and The Mummy 2 Return, where they had all the black on, and they were the protectors of the pyramid, of the temples. They're also depicted as the shriners or the noblemen who protected people when it was going on Hajj or pilgrimage through the desert. They were the protectors. They had to sabotage. Let's go back to Ibrahim. Let's deal with Jacob and Esau. Esau. You know the story with Esau and Jacob dealing with the birthright. Right. Jacob goes on to sleep with other women, right? And I'm fast forwarding through it for the sake of time. Right. One son named Joseph was tricked by his brothers, thrown in a hole, covered with blood to make that he was dead. Right. Joseph is rescued by, that's right, the Pharaoh. And that's why I can't for the life of me understand Hebrew Israelites. Like,
so Joseph was rescued by the Pharaoh from the pit? What? Okay, let me do $60 right now. Let's just put $60 on here. Let's do $60. All right. $60. Anybody can get me that verse. This $60. Jacko Black, yeah, you're gonna see Coneheads is referenced also as well. If you go back and watch this video, he also references Coneheads and Men in Black. But I mean, those are the only real sources, I guess, besides the Muslim source he just mentioned. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Somebody, $60 up. Anybody can get this money. Anybody? Show me the verse where Pharaoh rescued Joseph at the pit. I mean, as far as I know, that's not how the story went. I did see Prince of Egypt. I did watch that movie. I think that was with Moshe, though. But Joseph's Dream, there's a movie I watched with my kids about Joseph. I didn't see that part in the movie. You know what I'm saying? I went back and we actually read the story, and I looked, and I'm like, Pharaoh didn't get him out. So, your Danielle, sis, you got it? Okay, cool. Post it on the screen, and we'll send it to you. Okay, let's keep going. Again, I need him to address these things for us.
oh, wait a minute. We got Rachel, who is an Egyptian. Joseph, who's a
Rachel is an Egyptian? What? Wait. Well, let's go back. Hold on. Let's go back.
mother so much, but the father. Order dealing with the Jew.
Hold on. He
Hebrew
said
Israelites, like, oh, wait a minute. We got Rachel, who is an Egyptian. Joseph, who's an Israelite. Now,
wait, what? Rachel is an Egyptian? Hold on, family. I gotta find this. Hold on. You see, I still got $60. Somebody can find that. If you want this, $60 is up. Just please find for me where it says that she was an Egyptian. I need to see this. I need to see this. I thought Rebecca was sending him to Laban. I didn't know that they were connected to Egypt. I don't know. Maybe that's something that I don't know. I can't see. Somebody show me that that's the case. I didn't know that. Can y'all find a verse, or do I have to look for it? Can y'all find that for me? Where's that at? Oh, okay. Man, this is like elementary stuff.
an Egyptian. Now he's in Egypt. Right. Now Joseph has two sons by birthright order, dealing with the Jewish or Hebrew school of thought. The lineage of the father denotes what it is. Not the mother so much, but the father. So now the father is an Israelite, fornicates with an Egyptian. You have Ephraim and
An Israelite fornicates with Egypt. I thought he was married to Asenath. Hold on. Wait a second. Wait, let's slow down for a second. Wow, this is interesting. All right, come on, let's keep going. Hold on. Yo, Jordan is crazy. Appreciate the donation, King. So let's see if Yosef was married, man. Let me at least find that. I'm sure that's at least there, because he keeps throwing out this word fornicate a lot. But let me just see if Joseph had a wife. You know, did he have a wife? I want to see if he had a wife. Maybe he had a wife. Maybe he didn't. I mean, I don't know. Let's take a look. Let's see. Let's see. All right, let me put it up on the screen. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zaphethnath Paneah, and he gave him in marriage to Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On. So Joseph went out over the land of Misraim. Where's the fornication at? Y'all got that? Remember, I'm gonna keep this money on the line, and somebody can find me these verses. I don't know where they at. I don't know. And the thing I'm gonna do with him is she gonna have to source up. You can say whatever you want. That sounds good, but give me a source. If I can't work with it, there's no conversation. Anything I say to you, I'm gonna source up. Because otherwise, we're just giving opinions back and forth. Nobody wants to hear that. People want to hear facts. So yeah, okay. Let's get back. All right. I just didn't. This is stuff. He teaches Bible study, so maybe this is stuff I missed in reading the text. But it could be me. I don't know. That's why I'm asking y'all. Maybe it's me. I don't know.
Manasseh, who are both Egyptian and Israelites.
So we're dealing with a father who is from Israel and a mother who's from Egypt. The mother's name, her name was Asheneth, Aseneth. Ashe, the girl from Egypt, gets with the boy from Israel. His name is Joseph, and they have children. Please continue.
Ephraim and Manasseh. Then I kept studying. I said, okay, they say that they honored the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You can't honor the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob if you don't honor the God of Moses. The prophet Moshe or Moses, his story begins where?
In Egypt?
In Egypt. I don't know why the Israelite Hebrew plot talks about Egypt so much.
Yet they're so anti.
And then he brings up Dante Fortson's book. Interesting. I would love for Dante Fortson to see this as well. I'm going to let him know in the group that we're in. We'll just keep going.
Egypt.
400 years of slavery, they say there was in Egypt. For some reason, we don't get that picture nowhere on the walls of Egypt of bondage of a particular group called Israelites.
So the Egyptians write all this stuff.
Bondage of a particular group called Israelites. Okay. I did a lecture series called Crows on a Straw Man, Part 1 and Part 2. You'll go back and watch that. Crows on a Straw Man, Part 1 and Part 2. One of my mods could probably drop the link in the chat.
Watch this. Get your pen and your paper, because now here's what the...
Oh, shoot. I ain't got my pen. Hold on, y'all. Let me go get my pen. Oh, shoot. I need to get this. All right, make sure I have an empty page. That's the empty page. All right. I got my pen and my paper. All right, let's go. Let's do it. Let's see. I want to get this knowledge, man. Let's get this knowledge.
Here's where the scholastic comes in.
Oh, the scholastic.
Okay, you want to deal with this Hebrew Israelite. Okay. A Hebrew. The word means those who crossed over.
Crossed over, right.
So there was no word for Hebrew unless you deal with the word Hebrew. And the Hebrew had very similarities to the Hebrews. They had the tattered clothes at the end. They had the beards. Clothes, right? They did the same practices that the Hebrews do today. They were called Hebrews. From the Hebrews, you get a sect called the Horites.
What? Wait, hold on. And again, go back and watch. I have a lecture called The Minority Report. Please go back and watch. If you really want to see scholarship on display, you must go back and watch The Minority Report. That is the de facto standard that I put out back in 2015 that I think was better sourced than almost any other lecture that I've done. Well, not really, but equally as sourced. Go back there, and where I address the Habiru. It's Habiru, right? That's the first thing. Second thing is he said that the Horites were the Habiru. Okay. Do you have any sources for that? Because let me show something real quick. Let me get back to the text. Let me show something real quick in the text. Okay. Let me go back in the text. I want to show you something real quick. Because I want to see, like I said, maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. But I want to show you something real quick. We see when we look at Esau's descendants, you bring it up. They had displaced, the Edomites had displaced the Horites. All right, let's go. Let's go there. I'm going to show you something. And what I just want him to do, right, is show me this lock is on. It's crazy. Show me. I'm gonna go to Devarim 2:12. Show you the screen real quick. Do y'all want me to finish? Because it's kind of late. If you want me to finish, hit 1. Hit 1 if you want me to finish. Hit 1 if you want me to finish. Speak on It TV says, why everyone go against the Moors? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not going against the Moors. I'm going against misinformation. This has nothing to do with the Moors. This is somebody who calls himself a Moor, and they're providing misinformation on some things. I'm addressing misinformation. This is not an attack on Moors. Speak on It TV. It's not an attack against Moors. If you want to come on the panel, as soon as I'm done, you can definitely speak your grievances, my brother, and we'll politely address it. Yardinia Strong says stop. Everybody else said keep going. She's the only one that says stop. Oh man, but yes, the brother who just said we're going against the Moors, speak on It TV. Show me where I'm going against the Moors. Give me the timestamp in this video where I went against the Moors. Give me a timestamp in any video I did where I'm going against the Moors, and I'll give you this $50 here. I go against misinformation. I don't go against the Moors. I don't know what you're talking about, my brother. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Please, whatever you claim in here, you must show and prove, or you would be timed out. Okay? All right, keep going. All right, majority rules. Let's keep going. Oh, wait, I was going to show you something. I'm sorry. My bad. There you go. Devarim 2:12, Horites used to live in Seir, but the descendants of Esau drove them out. They destroyed the Horites from before them and settled in their place, just how Israel did in the land Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh gave them as their possession. So, according to the text, the Horites was displaced and destroyed by the Edomites. If you look in the correspondence, what's called the Amarna tablets, which is the vassal kings in Canaan sending letters to Akhenaten, who wasn't paying him no mind because he was building his own city because he did not trust the Amun-Ra priests and wanted to give the power back to the people. He was ignoring them because he was in the process of building his own city. However, these vassal kings was complaining about the Abiru beating them up. And we see all the sites that the Abiru was mentioned. Where are the Hebrews mentioned in Seir? You know, Seir is also mentioned in Amarna West. We have a artifact in Amarna West that mentions mentions Seir, and other references in Amenhotep's sources that mention Seir and talks about the Shashu of Seir that are coming into Misraim because of a drought in their land. So we know there's mention of Seir in Egypt, But I want to know where you get your connection between the Horites and the Habiru, and in what source. Provide it. That's all we're asking. Just give the source. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Again, I don't. How can somebody see this as me attacking Moors? I don't understand. We're just talking about information. Keep going, because he'll say, Divine, show you the whole thing. All right. Deaf to misinformation. Shout out to Royal Gem in the building. Facts all day, every day. It's nothing personal. You invite the dialogue, so the dialogue is being had.
Right? And the Horites were into the worship of Horus.
The Horites were into the worship of Horus. Now, family. Oh, man. All right. So it's not Horus. It's Heru, which he should know. Horus is a Greek rendition of Heru. Horites is a totally different language family within the Afro-Asiatic language that has nothing to do with Heru. What are you talking about? So there's references to the followers of Heru, and we have that in Egyptian sources. Show me any source where the deity of the Horites was Heru. You cannot look at homophones and say because they sound like they're cognates. It does not work that way in linguistics. It doesn't work that way. There's a limited range of sounds that the human mouth and throat can produce. Do you understand? So therefore, you're going to have different languages that use the same sounds, but they don't mean the same thing. That's when you get involved in what's called semantics, defining the meaning of something and seeing what that range is. You got to show the source, man. I want to see this, because when I get this, I'm going to give it back to my buddies who are the experts in Egyptology and say, hey, I didn't know this. Did you know this? I didn't know that. This is something new to me. Okay, let's keep going.
Oh my God!
So, and his mind is just blown over misinformation. I don't know why, but maybe because it sounds deep. I don't know. But okay, let's keep going.
After 400 years of being in a place, you've been in America 37 years. The first 15,
and that's the brother whose platform is Crumb TV.
20 years of your life, you were a Christian. Imagine 400 years after the fact you were here, all your children, unless you taught them differently, would be in some type of way speaking Egyptian, worshiping all of the gods of Egypt. Nothing's wrong with that, because that's customary for 400 years, right? The Bible says that Moses was learned in all the ways of the Egyptians. Moses knew the language, Moses knew the religion, Moses knew all that shit, which then when you see Moses and the children of Israel, they say, and we have to tell the story the right way, everybody didn't leave Egypt. And just like a nigga pulling up to Norfolk with a cruise ship saying, hey, we're going back to Africa. Some will go back, some will stay. Right. And that story with Moses, a lot of Israelites stayed in Egypt. Like,
can you give me the verse where it says a lot of Israelites stayed in Egypt? Give me that verse. I got $60 waiting if you can get that for me. I'm going to wait maybe 60 seconds for that one. Outcome facts. He is. I gotta ask him if I can have his permission to get some of his sound bites so I can play that when we go in here. Yeah, that's $60. I'll just wait. Somebody give me the verse. You got the verse? Give me the verse. When I was watching this was my face the whole time when I was watching this. Hold on, let me show you my face. That was my face when I was watching. I'm just saying. So again, I'm just killing time so I can give somebody some money. I want to throw some money out. I just need that verse. Somebody give me the verse. I'll wait. I'll give you another 20 seconds. Because obviously we're misinformed here. No, nobody got that verse. Okay, let's keep going. I said, man, I know I probably missed something in Sunday school. This is probably it, but let's keep going.
Got it good here, bro. We're not going nowhere. I got a condo by the fucking Nile River. I'm straight. I'm finna go wandering nowhere with you, crazy. Right. 40 years? That means the ones who left Egypt originally with Moses died. The children made it to the promised land. Oh. Come on now. The ones who came out of Egypt were so inoculated with the Egyptian religion and tongue, and that's why he made Aaron build the bull calf, Hathor, right? To worship a golden bull calf, because that was Hathor. They just seen Hathor for 400 years. Right. They know who Hathor was. Right. You know what I mean? They don't know who this new God that Moshe is on Mount Sin talking to, and Moses.
Interesting. Let me share something real quick. Let me see if I should Exodus chapter 2 or Shemot chapter 2 verse 23. During those many days the king of Egypt died, and the people of Israel groaned because of their slavery and cried out for help. Now, a lot of people miss this part where it says during those many days the king of Egypt died. That's very important. And the people of Israel groaned because of their slavery and cried out for help. Their cry for rescue from slavery came up to God, and God heard their groaning, and God remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. God saw the people of Israel, and God knew. So when they're crying out for help, they're crying out to something, right? And the thing that they're crying out to responded. Let's keep going. Just keep that in mind. Keep that in the back of your head. Let's keep going. Again, I'm just freestyling. Like I said, I did maybe about 30, 40 slides already on this. You know, just references all over the place, proper methodology, how to vet sources and all of that, and where some of this estranged information is coming from. It has been rejected as pseudo by the various, I would say, textual criticists who deal with authenticating manuscripts and sources in the realms of academia. This is just fringe stuff that's being woven together to try and give you a narrative to say, well, this is the esoteric understanding of it. No, it's not. If it's the esoteric, how is the esoteric shared? Oral. If it's shared oral, what you're saying, then you must lay it out for us. See, that's the thing. If you're a Mason, certain things you cannot explain. It's not for the uninitiated. So if you can't tell me the oral tradition that contains the signs, the symbols, and the rites, then there's no way that I can take what you're saying seriously. You could be making anything up. It needs to be put out there on public record so we can fact check it and cross-examine. If it can't be it, then you're making up anything. So let's keep going. Remember, y'all told me to keep going, so I'm gonna keep going.
Was on top of Mount Sinai, which is Mount Sin. Yes,
Mount Sinai, he says, is Mount Sin. Okay, let's stop right there for a second. I know I said I wasn't gonna stop at everything, but man, this is interesting. All right, let's see this. Let's see this, because I am also very familiar with the power called sin and where he was at. Are you saying sin was by Mount Sinai, my brother? Simply because Sinai denotes that the god sin was over Sinai? Okay, hold on. Let's see. I want to know what Mount Sin is. Maybe you can give me a reference to Mount Sin. I just never heard of Mount Sin before, but I know about the deity called Sin. I know about that deity, and we know where that deity actually resided. Was it Mount Sinai, is what you say? It can't be if he is a deity of the Sumerians. Samaria is in Mesopotamia. It's nowhere near Sinai. Okay. Let me just go back to the video. Excuse my passion, Minister of Information, if you're watching this. This is not designed to offend you, my brother. This is designed to respond based on your invitation. That's all. And we're very studious over here. We take our work seriously. And, you know, this stuff right here is just, you know, it's just, we just feel a certain kind of way, right? We just do, you know, because it just, I think people think we're ignorant, that we're just going to just say, oh, my God, this is such a conundrum. You know, we can't, what are we going to do about this? Oh, man, he unraveled the mysteries of our particular paradigm. And he took it one thread at a time and just unraveled it. And now it's a whole different story. And now I don't know what to believe and where to go. And I can't stand on my square no more. And I'm being stressed and I don't know how to respond. No, I don't see nobody doing that over here, but let's keep going. Maybe we may have that moment. I'm not going to stop. We got 10 minutes left for this. Maybe that moment might come. Let's keep going.
And you look up N-A-N-A family, look up Nana Sin.
Now, I put a book on Patreon that goes over the gods and goddesses of Mesopotamia. Matter of fact, let me bring the book up. I know I said I was going to do no sources because I don't want him to see what I got waiting, but I'll bring the source up. Let's bring the source up. I'll bring the source up. Right? Let me launch the source right now. So you guys can see it. It's on the Patreon if you want it. All right? Let me bring it up. Don't forget, we're going to be giving away an Amazon gift card at the end of the show. So stay tuned. All right. And the more Patreon that we have sign up, more patrons we have sign up for Patreon. And it's right there, www.patreon.com/DivineProspect. So you can get the scholarship side of KHM. The higher the value will be on our giveaway, Amazon giveaway card. All right. But check it out. Check it out. Here's a book that I have available that anybody can go and see. Right? It's called The Mesopotamian Gods and Goddesses, right? Let's do a search real quick. Right? It's kind of small, so let me zoom in. So what I did was we did a search of the deity Nana. Okay? Right? A similar, very complex myth, Inanna's, he didn't even say the real name, descent relates how the goddess Inanna, lady of the date clusters, set her heart on ruling the netherworld and tried to dispose her older sister, the queen of the netherworld, which is Eresh Kigal, lady of the great place. Her attempt failed and she was killed and changed into a piece of rotten meat in the netherworld. It took all the ingenuity of Enki, lord of sweet waters in the earth, to bring Inanna back to life. Even then, she was released only on condition that she furnished a substitute to take her place. On her return, finding her young husband, Dumuzi, feasting instead of mourning for her, Inanna was seized with jealousy and designated him the substitute. Dumuzi tried to flee the posse of deputies who had accompanied Inanna, and with the help of the god Utu, the sun, who changed Dumuzi's shape, he managed to escape, was recaptured, escaped again, and so on, until he was finally taken to the netherworld. The fly told his little sister, Geshtinana, where he was, and she went in search of him. The myth ends with Inanna rewarding the fly and decreeing that Dumuzi and his little sister could alternate as her substitute, each of them spending half a year in the netherworld, the other half above with the living. That is a brief overview of Nana. Now, he's talking about it's really Inanna, but he says it's Nana. Now, he connects Inanna to sin. So maybe we should look this up. And again, if you have this book, you can go through all the references of Inanna, okay? Right? Check it out right here. All right? Fairly close to Sumerian prototypes is an Akkadian version of the myth of Inanna's descent, an old Babylonian myth about the thunderbird Anzu, who stole the tablets of faith and was conquered by Ninurta, who was guided by Enki's counsel. It's probably closely related to the Sumerian story of Ninurta's contest with Enki, okay? And we can keep going on and on. But here's the thing that he's referencing, okay? It says, let's start at, she was also the goddess of birth. With these was joined seemingly secondarily Enki Ea, god of the sweet waters of rivers and marshes. He was the cleverest of the gods and the great troubleshooter, often appealed to by both gods and men. Enlil's sons was the Mu god Nana Sin, the god of thunderstorms, floods, and the plow, Ninurta, and the underworld figurines, Meslamtaya, Ninazu, and Unugi. Sin's sons were the sun god and judge of the gods Utu, the rain god Ishkur, the Akkadian Adad, and his daughter, the goddess of war, love, in the morning of the evening star, Inanna, Akkadian Ishtar. We're looking at two different things here, but he may be referring to the Nana, which is the moon god for sin, right? And it says, Inanna's ill-fated young husband was the herder god Dumuzi, which we read earlier. The dread netherworld was ruled by the goddess Ereshkigal and her husband Nergal, a figure closely related to Meslamtaya and Ninurta. All right. Earlier tradition mentions Ninazu and Ereshkigal's husband. I got the camera in front of me, so I have to move to read what I'm reading. So if we're going to relate to sin, right, which is the god sin, let's go to sin. Look up sin. Right, we may get tons of sources because that's a common word, right? So here's sin. All right. Let me see. Let's go get a little bit more. Again, it might just pick up everything with S-I-N in it. All right. Ishkur. Ishkur closely resembled Ninhar, and as such was visualized in the form of a great bull. He was the son of Nana, Akkadian Sin, the moon god. So you hear that. Nana is the equivalent to Sin in Akkadian from Sumeria. Just keep that connected. So Nana Sin. Now, let's see what he's talking about. Because again, I can keep going through the source, but I'm going to let y'all read it. Y'all can read it for yourself and find this stuff out. All right. Talking about the mother of sin. Let's go back to the videotape because he says something that's very important, right? As if we don't have sources to read this stuff. But let's keep reading. Let's go back. Let's watch this video.
Right? Nana sin, those 9 primordial gods up there were called the Ogad.
Whoa! He says the Ogad. Let's see if the Ogad is Mesopotamian or if the Ogad is Egyptian. Let's stop. This again, I'm freestyling, so I don't want him to think that I just sat here and planned all week for this. I just thought about it yesterday. Wednesday. Wednesday, I thought about it, and I'm freestyling right now. But since then, I put a couple of slides together, but I'm just freestyling right now. I'm not showing you anything. This is freestyle. This is stuff that anybody can search, or they can just get the books we put on Patreon, and you know about all of this stuff. Though, look, check this out. He says the Ogad. Let's look up the Ogad. Let's see what culture produced the Ogad. Okay, let's see if it's Mesopotamian. Again, I'm just doing a basic general search. I want to show it to y'all. Ogad is Egyptian. In Egyptian mythology, the Ogad, because from the ancient Egyptian Hemnenyu, which is a plural nisba of Hemu, which means 8. So if you're looking at the counting system in Mesopotamia, it differed from that in Egypt. The Ogad is primordial deities, but from what culture? Not Mesopotamia, Egypt, Misraim, Kemet. It has Nana Sin is not a deity in the Ogad. What are you talking about? My brother. I have tons of sources on. Matter of fact, I can go grab some books. I showed you some books I had on here. Ancient Kemet, got about 35 over there, right? Several of them just go into the deities. There's no mention of Nana Sin as part of the Ogad. Where is this coming from? Yeah, don't think that we just in the Israelite bag. I'm getting into the Mesopotamia and the Egyptian bag. I'm in there all the time. Ask anybody that's part of the Patreon. You'll see those books come up all the time. So please validate this assertion that Nana Sin is from the Ogad. It's not there. We can name out all the deities in Ogad. Matter of fact, let's go and name out all the deities. Let me see if Nana Sin. Maybe I might be wrong. Let's read out the names of the 8, and let's see if one of them is. And mind you, I got to know this stuff because I'll be going back and forth with the Kemetic community, right? Let's see if one of these deities is Sin. Okay. All right, here we go. Basic Mentionetcha. If y'all are interested in learning Mentionetcha, holla at us, KHM. We'll show it to you. I have a couple videos where I go into the Mentionetcha. And holla at my brother Zion Lex, who also gets into the Mentionetcha. We are Israelites that dive into the Mentionetcha. So we can read this stuff without anything there, right? But let's just see on our screen. Like I said, maybe I might be wrong. We have new, hehu, keku, ker. We have now net, hehut, kekut, and kerhet. Now, when you look at this right here, this little mound, that represents a T phoneme in ancient Kemet. And this also designates feminine noun. Also, you have the seated person or seated deity here with the headdress for a woman. This is the headdress and the false beard for the man. This is a determinative, which indicates if this is male or female, which we're talking about, if it's a god or person or whatever. There's no nana sin here. This is the 8. And they are mirror images of each other. They're the female and masculine principle and opposites of the same major principle. Please show me, and Nu is the primordial waters of Nu. Please show me Nana Sin. Nana, remember, is Sumerian. Sin is Akkadian. Please show me those deities in the Ogdad. I would love to see this. Matter of fact, I got $100. Let me put $100 up here. $100. $100 if anybody can find me Nana Sin in the Ogdad. $100. Let's keep going. I'm sorry, fam. I know this is kind of drawn out. I know I said I wasn't going to address it, but it's just so much in there. It's like,
right, okay. Those are the primordial gods supposedly that Moshe was talking to at Mount Harb.
So Moses was talking to the primordial gods of the Ogdad. Do you know the Ogdad is from a particular locale in ancient Kemet? There's various groups of deities in different nomes or cities in ancient Kemet. So you're saying that Moses was interacting with the Ogdad. Okay, let's say we're going to entertain that. Okay, let's entertain that. What verse is this? Matter of fact, let's see with the deity that commissioned Moshe. Let's see what he says about the Egyptian gods. Let's go ahead and see that. Okay, let's see that. Let's see that. Oh, man. This is very interesting, man. Exodus or Shemot 12:12. On that same night, I will pass through Egypt and strike down every firstborn of both people and animals, and I will bring judgment on all the gods of Egypt. I am Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh. Now, why would a deity, unless there's some rogue deity from the Ogdad, I don't know anything about this that can be substantiated in any piece of literature in ancient Kemet or Egypt or Mizraim, but why would, and mind you, these, remember I told you these are feminine and masculine entities that represent a particular principle, like Nu represents the primordial waters, etc. So which one of these deities is saying this? Are all of them saying this? They're going to go and fight against the other deities in ancient Egypt? This is pretty strange. But it says the one that's saying this is called Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh. Where's the Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh deity in ancient Egypt? Can you show me that deity there? I know Egypt identifies the Shashu of Yod-Heh-Wav, which is a shortened form of Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh. But show me Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh in the pantheon of the deities of the Ogdad. First you said Nana, which is Sumerian, and Sin, which is Akkadian, is part of the Ogdad. And now the Ogdad is saying that they about to strike down the Egyptians and render judgment on the gods of Egypt. I'm just trying to figure out how that makes sense. I just want to know how that makes sense. Maybe somebody here can tell me. Maybe I missed that in my Bible study. Please show me where that makes sense. And family, I'm not saying that this brother doesn't know what he's talking about in a sense where he's not smart or brilliant, because he is. In some other subject matter, he was saying some deep, dropping some science. However, Very sloppy over here. Not that he intends to be sloppy. I guess he thinks he just has some deep information that's just going to wow us and trip us up and confuse us and confound us. Bruh, when you put out a challenge, we are allowed to be a stickler of the information that you're putting out. And that's what I'm doing. You're saying stuff that's just like, bruh, what is all of this? Okay, let's keep going. I just want to, this is something new to me. I mean, like I said, maybe I'm bugging. Let me find something else. Let's go to Devarim chapter 1, verse 6. Yod-Heh Wah-Feh, Elohei Ka, our power said to us at Horeb, you have stayed long enough at this mountain, and then proceeded to dispatch them. So Yod-Heh Wah-Feh is the power who spoke to them at Horeb. This power is not part of the Ogdad. I don't know where you're getting that from. But the text, if this is where you're getting it from, unless you have an account of the same story in some other primary text that we don't possess. If you don't, then you have to rely on what the text says here. The text is not obscure. It's very specific in particular. Okay, let's keep going. Let me share the screen. Oriyahu, yes, it was. And I'm going to show you where he said it.
It's called Mount Harb, the same mountain that Rasulullah Muhammad went to.
Stop it!
Man, y'all better read this stuff and quit playing. So Hebrew Israelites, for the life of me, I don't understand this hatred towards the Egyptians.
I don't hate the Egyptians. Maybe other Israelites do, but I don't. But let's keep going.
When I had to research it, wait a minute. We're dealing with Jacob, Israelites, Moses, Abraham. They're all cousins. But before they were all them.
Wait, what?
Egyptians. When I had to research it, wait a minute. We're dealing with Jacob, Israelites, Moses, Abraham. They're all cousins.
They're all cousins. What? $100 is there. If anybody can find these scriptures for me, please find it for me and collect your $100 tonight.
But before they were all them, who was their great predecessor? Noah. Because nobody was here, according to the scripture,
right?
But Noah and his 3 sons and their wives.
Now, my subscription is I subscribe to a large local flood, and I'm definitely able to demonstrate that. I've mentioned it in the past, but that's my position. Other people may disagree with that, and that's fine, but that's my position. So let's keep going. I'm just speaking from my position now, but let's just keep going.
So now we get to dealing with who?
Ham.
And Ham goes back into Africa, populates with his sons, Cush, Punt, and Mizraim. Mizraim sets up what's called Egypt. You have Mizrites, you have Cushites, you have Foothites, you have Israelites. They're all the same fucking family.
They're all the same family. Okay. Let's keep going.
The Mizrites bloodline goes to the Israelites. That's
Mizraite. Are you talking about through intermarriage, interracial marriage, or inter-ethnical marriage, or whatever you want to call it?
That's why Jesus had to go to Egypt. That's why Moshe had to go to Egypt. That's why Joseph had to go. Every fucking body had to go to Egypt. Egypt was the beacon of information, light, knowledge, books, literature. You can't talk to me about no Torah or any type of abjad or.
Now he keeps saying this term. You're gonna hear him. He keeps saying this term abjad. You know what abjad is? Abjad is simply consonants with phonetic values that represent a language, whether written or spoken. That's all abjad is. But let's keep going.
Gematria before you deal with the hieratic demotic. Before you deal with
hieratic. Okay. So, and he talks about demotic. So when you get into scripts, right, you had what was written on the walls in hieroglyphics, and then you have what's called the hieratic script, right? The hieratic script is the administrative version of the priestly hieroglyphics. Okay. And then later on over time, you get the demotic script, which happens much later. And demo meaning people, the common form of that hieratic script that got watered down and given to the common man and folk. Right? So let's keep going.
The metanetter. I'm not talking about the canoe form that came dealing with the Mesopotamia later, that most Hebrews
came later. So I guess he's saying script wise that what we find in Mesopotamia came later. Okay, if that's the case, and let's say it did come later as far as literature and stuff started to develop, because the Sumerians started first off with a counting system and keeping records of that and stay in clay tablets. That's where a lot of the beginning was, like transactions and stuff like that and accounts for stuff. That does not negate the fact that they had a language. It's just at what point did their spoken language reflect, their written language reflect their spoken language is what we're dealing with, okay?
Contribute their civilization to, talking about the Mesopotamia. If you come to me with a Mesopotamia story dealing with those particular hieroglyphics that gave way to the Hebrew script, then I'm going to challenge you and ask you, well, who was in charge of the Mesopotamia? You have to deal with, guess who? Who was the master builder in the Bible?
Nimrod. Of course, he's going to put the masonry symbol because Masons love Nimrod.
The first Mason in the Bible.
Nimrod?
Nimrod
Nimrod
was the king of Shinar, which is modern-day Iraq, Iran, Mesopotamia. And once again, you're dealing with Nimrod, you're dealing with the son of Cush, grandson of Noah. But it's all the same bloodline. That's why I ask Israelites today, what tribe are you from?
I'm thinking the tribe of the Israelites.
No, it's just like saying, are you Choctaw? Are you Creek? Saying that you are the tribe of Israel is like saying that you are, what's the 5 civilized tribe called in America? They call them
Iroquois.
So how many of y'all saw the Meneptah stele? If you saw the Meneptah stele, Israel, right, where it mentions Israel, Israel was mentioned as a people group. There was no distinctions in sub-tribes. If you go into the Misha stele, Israel is mentioned as a people group. Now, they do mention a sub-tribe of Gad, but they also mention Israel as a people group. If you go to the what you call it, stele, the Berlin pedestal relief, right? You also see Israel mentioned on there as a people group. If you go to the Tel Dan artifact, it mentions Israel as a people group. Again, no specifics about distinct tribes. So you can call yourself an Israelite because in primary sources, by way of material culture that's left behind of sister cultures, they call those people Israel, meaning a designation for a group of people. And if you're Israelite, that means you're of the tribe of Israel. But there's subunits within there that the story fleshes out. And that you also see in other sources as well, such as the Misha Stela, which identifies the men of Gad, which is part of Israel. So when you go into the oral traditions of, let's say, West African tribes that traces their lineage back to Israel, part of the lineage back to Israel, they'll tell you which tribe they come from. I've done all this research. I did 3 lectures on this. And I got another one coming up where I'm going to go into that as well. And then we got a documentary that we're raising capital for that we can fund so we can physically go there and prove it to y'all. But let's keep going with this.
Okay. Now, which sub-tribe are you from? Iroquois is not a tribe. Jacob is not a tribe. Israel is a person. I just told you that the angel changed his name to Israel. Right. They're trying to say that.
So in academia, Yaakov or Israel, Yaakov is a Semitic name because we find some rings, signet rings and seals left in a varis of the shepherd kings that was there, and one of them had the name Yaakov, right? So we know that is a legit name. It's not a made-up name for a story. It's a real name. So we find it in a culture outside of the Israelites. However, in regards to the story or the narrative we find in Better Sheets, that is called an eponymous ancestor. That's what Yaakov is, right? And a story was generated around that eponymous ancestor to give rise to the origin of this ethnic group of people, okay? Keep that in mind. But historically, from records that exist, Israel was always considered a people. They're the ones that created the narrative on the origin of the name Israel. You don't get that outside of this narrative. So I just want people to keep that in mind, and want my brother, if he's watching, please keep that in mind as well, my brother.
Oh, we're Israelites because of Jacob's name being changed, and anything that Jacob spawned, his descendants, his children, makes us Israelites. Okay, cool. But which of the 12 children
are you under?
Are you under? Gad, Levi, Judah, Simon? Which tribe are you from?
I'll wait till I have a discussion with him, and I'll verify and validate which tribe I'm from specifically, if that's his sincere question. That's easy. That's light work. Let's keep going.
Why doesn't it matter? Can I be from any tribe and still be good?
Yes, you can. You can be from any tribe and be good. But look what he says. Now check this out. Listen to what he says.
With the book of Hosea, we start dealing with the curses passed down to various tribes.
Come on,
somebody get the curses passed down to various tribes in the book of Hosea, so we can go through it. All right. Somebody get that for me. Give me a scripture in the book of Hosea that reflects what he just said. Again, we almost done with this, family. I know you'll waited patiently. We're going to give the gift card out in a few minutes. Well, as soon as I'm finished with this. And then I wanted to do a question and answer, but it's kind of late. I'm getting tired. This right here is just it's not really inspiring me to keep on. But we still want to give out that the gift card. So we're still going to do it. And again, we have more people that sign up for the Patreon, www.patreon.com/DivineProspect. I'm putting some more content on there. I just added something earlier today. I have 2 videos I'm going to add to it, and more sources based on the stuff we discussed right now. Some of these sources are already there, but I just want somebody to show me in the book of Hosea that outlines the curses on Israel, or the tribes of Israel. Somebody give me that. Somebody give me that. I'm going to wait for that. If you think this freestyle critique is long, y'all don't want to see what I have when I'm done with a PowerPoint. Because I'm going to take every snippet of what he says, and we're going to cross-examine it. Mother Beulah said the verse is not printed yet. Oh man, can y'all show me that in the book of Hosea? If you can, $100 is waiting for you right here. All right, let me finish playing.
Canaan. You see what I'm saying? I can walk it with you. Hosea, we start dealing with the curses passed down to various tribes.
Come on, somebody.
Canaan. You see what I'm saying?
Hosea talks about the curses that's laid out for various tribes, and it talks about the curse of Canaan. Now, I might be wrong, but can somebody show that to me? Anybody? You could just throw it in. I'm going to keep playing. Just throw it in the chat when you get it. And you're going to see when he's going to talk like, put his chest out, humbly and welcome a challenge. Just sit down and talk, and, with and without the book. I'm going to tell them to close the book. Okay, let's do it. I'm freestyling right now. Let's close the book. Let's close it. We ain't got to deal with the book. Let's just deal with the information. Let's keep going.
I can walk it with you. I'm not even Hebrew Israelite, but I can walk it with you though. Peace and love to Hebrew Israelite. It's all love, baby.
Peace and love to the Hebrew
Pardon my
Israelites.
ignorance.
Because we saw them today. It was a great
peace and love to you too, King. You and Crumb TV. Peace and love to y'all. This is nothing personal. I got much love for my brothers, man, striving to bring information, awaken our people. The only thing is we have to be each other's keeper. And if we come out with some misinformation, we got to check each other. And if you never made this a public challenge, then we could have just dealt with this behind closed doors. That's how I like to operate. But because you put it out publicly, this is why I'm addressing it publicly, because I'm being asked by people in our community to address it. So I'm doing it.
Experience. Right. And I did not let them walk away.
Right.
I exchanged information, and I invited the Atlanta-based Hebrew Israelite community onto Crumb TV to not debate, but a meeting of the minds with the Minister of Information.
I'm game. This is my only two things. I'm game. Matter of fact, I'm in Atlanta. Why can't we go meet in person? I can mask up and all of that. I want to meet in person and do this. Move all the screens out the way. Put all the books aside, even though I'm still going to have my tablet where I'm going to have my thousands of books on it, because this brother has a lot of books too. I ain't going to front. But I'm a tablet ready in case I need to go back to a source. And we could just talk and spew whatever. But how can we validate and verify what's being said? You need sources. You need to have a methodology, right? So I'm willing to meet up in person. If you choose for me just to come on the platform, because when we meet up in person, I'm going to have my camera right there in case somebody edits something. I don't want nothing edited. If I come on this platform, shout out to Crumb TV, I don't want nothing edited. I want everything out there. Because the difference with me is I'm not afraid to lose a debate or find out that I'm wrong on something. I have no problem with that. That's how I learn. That's why I have no fear when I get into discussions and debates. I'm welcoming and looking for an opportunity to be wrong so I can learn something. That's how I grow. So it's always a win-win for me. But I'm willing to come on Crumb TV. First condition is I don't want nothing edited. Live stream it. Live stream it. I don't want nothing edited. I don't want to say, oh, we got to. No. Live stream it. That's my first condition. My second condition is once I'm done with Crumb TV, I need to bring him, the Minister of Information, the conscious chef, over to Kingdom Harbinger Ministries YouTube channel because we have 23,000 subscribers. And I wanted to have a dialogue with him on this side. After I go to your side, I need you to come to my side. Now, I'm going to do my best to keep the wolves off for you, but we're going to have a Q&A. If you think me and you having a dialogue is going to be kind of challenging, you're not ready for the Q&A. And I'm willing to take questions from his audience based on the subject matters. I only want to talk in our first discussion on the things that he mentioned in this video. Let's deal with this first because he has a lot of things he has to validate. Once we're done with that, let's do a part 2 discussion on whatever you want to go. Let's talk on Masonry, Moorish paradigm, Islam, Judaism, Christianity, Hebrew Israelism, esoteric knowledge, mysticism, Sufism. I'm built for all of this. Wherever you want to talk about aliens and space federations, whatever you want to talk about, my brother, I'm down with it because I've studied all this stuff. I just chosen to have this paradigm. And I teach my students to teach me. So I give them everything. Everything you say on here is just, this places we can pull this stuff. So I have no problem coming on the platform. I prefer in person so I can live stream and I can bring my squad. Now, if you just want me by myself, I can go dolo. Or if you welcome in I'll bring my squad. However you want to do this, let me know. All I ask is if I come on your YouTube channel, I want it live streamed and I don't want nothing edited. I don't want to say, oh, we have some mic issues. I don't want no excuses. We live stream, we go live. And I want him to address all of these things here. And once he does that, then we can move forward on whatever. We can freestyle from there. I don't care. But just know, whatever I say, I'm going to have our source lined up. So he has to have his sources lined up too. It's one thing to show us a video of all your books. But when you say stuff like this, you got to cite stuff. That's just how it works in academia. You got to cite stuff. You're a scholar. You said, here's the scholarship part, but there was no source citations with that. Everything that I've taught, for the most part, I have source citations. And if it's not a source citation, I say it's my own thought based on this evidence. That's how you formulate argumentation. It's a particular methodology for that. So that's my challenge. And after I'm done with Crumb TV, you must come over here because these wolves is hungry, right? They hungry. The pack is hungry, right? So you come over here. When I say hungry, I don't mean anything offensive. I'm just saying they got questions. They got a lot of questions for you. And they're equally, if not more studied than I am, because that's what we attract over here at KHM. This is why when people support the Patreon, we continue to put information out that can deal with anything that comes your way. I had all types of visitors from all schools of thought come on this platform. Moors, Nation of Islam, Christian mystics, Kemet, conscious community, other Israelites, Christians, Catholics. Everybody's been over here. And I've stood my ground because I've studied that stuff. And you know what? Even in dialogue, I've learned something that I went back and researched that I didn't know before. That is how we grow, right? But I need him to validate everything he just said in this video. Because if he can't do that, or he's refusing to do that, when we go live on that platform, then I don't want to have a discussion. This is what drew me to a discussion with him. This is what the invite was. Let's do it.
I want to bring him on here and have a candid conversation. Now, we're not going to get into no debate, no debauchery. We're not getting into no orthodoxy, no dogma, right? We're not dealing with no be lie Eve, okay?
But the brother does admit that Allah exists. I want to know his relationship to Allah. What is Allah to him? Because Moors have different ideas. Some of them believe it's an ontological ethereal being that oversees everything from a deist perspective. Some of them think of it from a theist perspective because they come from the stream of Orthodox Islam. Some of them says Allah is man himself. Some of them say Allah is a principle. I need to know what Allah is for him because he showed his Mason garb. You got to believe in a higher power, the grand architect of the universe. I need to know is Allah, because if he's a Shriner, because that's what he showed, a Shriner, then you believe that Allah is a grand architect of the universe. So what is Allah to you? Is Allah an ethereal ontological being? Is Allah a principle? Is Allah fictional? Is it real? Is Allah the black man? What is Allah to you? Because you subscribe to Allah. And that those aliens that look like us, that he says, again, go back and watch the whole video on these other planets, because he started saying some stuff about science, that astronomy. I was like, because I got my astronomy stuff on deck. So just finding an article here and here on the internet is not reading textbooks on astronomy. I got textbooks on astronomy, university textbooks on astronomy. We got to deal with that stuff you're saying, because you're saying there's other people on those other planets. And I'm not here to say whether there is or not. I just want to know how you know that. You got to really go into that. I got to see the science behind that, because I want to know what terraforming was done on those planets that allow life to be there. Then he said all the planets are gas planets. Well, obviously that's not true, my brother. Did you know that Mars is not a gas planet? That's basic astronomy. But this is other stuff I want to bring up to him too on this video. He said, because he just said some stuff, right? But all I'm saying is, display.
We're dealing with the lies of Eve's children.
The lies of Eve's children. Be lie Eve. So the belief is the lies of Eve's children. Can y'all give me a dictionary? Okay, let me just stop. Let's keep going. Now, he brings up this book, The Context of Scripture, Archival Documents from the Biblical World. Excellent source. I want to know if he read this cover to cover. And I want to know if he's been to any conferences to talk with these authors that's on here and these editors. I want to know, because this is a legit source. Do you know what's in it? Can you quote stuff from here? If I was to tell you, okay, on page 364, what is the thesis on that page? Can you tell me based on the actual document that they published? I have this book. I've been to conferences where this was spoken about. I want to know how fluent he is in this. Don't just show nothing on screen. You got to demonstrate that you understand what is that book there. Now, don't show me a cover. I need to know that you understand the context mechanically and technically. Let's keep going.
We're going to open up the context of the scriptures. And we're going to walk through the family tree. And once we get to Noah, and once we get to Cush, and get to Ham, and get to Funt, and we get to Mizraim, let's talk about Mizraim for a second. Who is Mizraim in relation to Ibrahim? And why y'all making a distinction as if the Egyptians are this crazy alien spawn race of people who built these crazy obelisks and built these pyramids and worship animals and etc. And then you make yourself apart from your cousins, but you keep going back to your cousin. You keep going back to your cousin. So it made a distinction that Jesus was only there for one group. He said, I'm only here for the lost tribe of Israel.
The lost.
Well, at least he got that correct. Oh, man. But Jesus came out of Egypt during his bar mitzvah, and he was smeared with crocodile fat that anointed him to be an Egyptian king, but he's called King of the Jews in the text. That's astounding. Matter of fact, you know what? I forgot to bring out a scripture in Matthew. My bad. Hold on. My bad. Let's go to Matthew. I want to show you something in Matthew. Let's go to Matthew real quick. Okay. Matthew chapter 2 talks about the return to Nazareth after being in Israel. So look, check this out. This is how you do chronological dating, right? It's called relative dating, okay? Let's go to verse 16. Then Herod, when he saw that he had been tricked by the wise man, became furious, and he sent and killed all the male children in Bethlehem and in all that region who were 2 years old or under, according to the time that he had ascertained from the wise men. Then was fulfilled what was spoken by the prophet Jeremiah. A voice was heard in Ramah, weeping and loud lamentation, Rachel weeping for her children. She refused to be comforted because they are no more. But when Herod died, behold, now key thing, Herod was alive doing this, and then when he died, we have a time frame when he died. We know when he died. Behold, a messenger of Yod-Heh-Wav appeared in a dream to Joseph in Egypt, saying, "Rise, take the child and his mother, and go to the land of Israel, for those who sought the child's life are dead." And he rose and took the child and his mother and went to the land of Israel. But when he heard that Archelaus was reigning over Judea in place of his father Herod, he was afraid to go there. And being warned in a dream, he withdrew to the district of Galilee. And he went and lived in a city called Nazareth, so that what was spoken by the prophets might be fulfilled, that he would be called a Nazarene. Where does this say anything about a bar mitzvah, age 13, being smeared with crocodile fat oil from Egypt, being anointed as a king of Egypt, but being called the king of the Jews? This is completely mind-blowing. I just want to know where it's at. Okay.
Tribe, not all the tribes in Israel?
No, just the lost one, which was the tribe of Judah.
Jesus didn't come to save the world. He was just here for his people.
Right. He never said came to save the world.
And the whole Bible is about one family that Jesus was focused on.
Big ass family. From the Adamites all the way through the Israelites.
And the Israelites are having issues because they're playing family feud with the other side of the family.
And not only that, good point, newfound Christians are believing the plot and they're getting involved. So if you ask any Christian, are you a Christian? Yeah. Do you believe in Jesus? Yeah. Do you believe Jesus is our Lord and Savior? Yeah. Do you believe in the Israelites? Yeah, they in there. Are you Israelite? They don't want to say they're Israelite. If you're not an Israelite, then put down the book. Damn, that's not your book.
Now I got you. No argument there. Keep going.
And that's one thing that I applaud the Hebrew Israelites about is they come out they book.
Right.
And they come out shooting.
Right.
Blazing.
Matthew chapter 13.
Verse 24. Because that's how God say talk. He talk with that type of tone. And those who understand the voice and will hear my voice, my sheep will come. So that's why they talk. And some stop and they listen to that shit. Now, what I would like for the Hebrew Israelites to do, if they do come on Crumb TV platform, is to close the book.
Huh?
Because I ain't gonna have not one book in front of me. Let's talk. Let's talk history.
This is going to be good.
Let's talk human history. Let's not go into the biblical pretext of nothing. If y'all
are familiar with me teaching over the years, I've done that. That's easy. Just keep going.
You want to be an Israelite at that point and talk from the Torah or the Tanakh, what they call the Pentateuch, any of those scriptures,
right?
If they choose to go there, and I'm making this a point, they choose to go there, right? I'm gonna pull out the old canons.
I'm gonna pull out the old canons. I don't know what he means by that. I'm assuming he means the pseudepigrapha. I'm assuming he means maybe some apocryphal works. I'm assuming he means some Gnostic gospels and texts. Maybe that's what he's talking about. Oh, by the way, I have a book that goes through all of that on the Patreon. But I guess that's what he's talking about. So I'll just go to that book that I post on the Patreon and just read from there. Like you're not, there's nothing that you're gonna say to me that's gonna blow my mind about the paradigm that I stand on, because I thoroughly committed myself to studying this thing within my paradigm and outside of my paradigm. I could just talk to you about science all day and not mention the scriptures or Israelite. I can talk to you about Moorish Science Temple of America teachings from the Circumcision Quran and more without talking about the Bible. It's not difficult. You just study. It's not like it's secret stuff.
Because I'm teaching. I'm not debating nobody. We're going to pull out the abjad. And
you keep saying abjad. You're going to pull out what? A slab of stone that has all of the written consonant that has phonetic values in a particular language. Why would you bring that out? Okay, let's get the definition of abjad to see if this is something that's fancy. Let's bring it up. Let's see what this is. Again, just do a Google search. Anybody could do a Google search. You may not have the extensive library I have and the amount of study time in, but just do a Google search. Abjad is a type of writing system in which, in contrast to true alphabets, each symbol or glyph stands for a consonant, in effect leaving it to readers to infer otherwise supplied an appropriate vowel. That's all it is. So you're going to pull one of these out? Really? That's what you're going to do? You're going to pull one of those out? Okay. All right. Cool. I'm game to learn.
People say, oh, his name was Yahweh or Adonai, Jehovah, and all these different entities.
Different entities. I'm going to ask him, how is Adonai and Yehovah, how are they connected? I would love for him to explain that. Linguistically, looking at the morphology, how are they connected? I want to see if he can get into the Nekudot and be able to show that to me.
That's laid out throughout the Bible that they're propagating is only one God.
I believe in henotheism. So I hope he keeps that in mind. I'm just going to give him a shortcut. He's probably not going to have time to microwave all the stuff that I taught on this channel.
There is only one God. That's true. But we got to deal with the multitude of deities that's listed in the diaspora of the Hebrew Israelite community. And there are several. We can start.
Now, this is where he's really going to mess up.
With Baal Hadad.
Baal Hadad. Okay.
Who's at the base of Mount Sin.
Baal Hadad is at the base of Mount Sin.
That's who Moses talked to. Moses was talking to Baal.
That's who Moses was talking to.
B-A-L. And that's why the Most High told him, I will make you Baal before Pharaoh.
Now let's slow down for a second. Damn. Oh man, this is really tiresome too. Like it's really tiresome. Let's look this up. And again, he's missing the glottal stop. But let's go to Baal Hadad. Okay. Let me show this to you real quick. Again, a simple Google search. Baal Sephon, Baal Sapunu, properly Ba-Punu or Sapunu was the form of the Canaanite storm god Baal, literally the Lord. In his role as Lord of what? Mount Saphon. He is identified in Ugaritic text as Hadad. Because of the mountain's importance location, it came to mental. Hold on. Let's go into this. Signified North in Hebrew. The name is sometimes given in translation as Lord of the North. He was equated with the Greek god Zeus. In his form, Zeus Cassios or Cassias. Later with the Roman Jupiter Cassius, right? The key thing I want to hone in here is, where is he located? Mount Zaphon. Do you know where Mount Zaphon is? I'm going to show you the map. Jebel Akra. That's your Mount Zaphon. Please, somebody tell me, is this Mount Sinai? I didn't know that. Hold on. Let's click on the image so you can see it. And hold on. Let me see if I can zoom in. You see this? This is Syria, if you're getting confused. And it borders Syria, Turkey. Is this where Mount Sinai is at? Because that's where that deity resides at. So if you're gonna go talk to Baal Hadad, that's mentioned in the Ugaritic text, if you can show me outside the Ugaritic text that Baal Hadad existed in Mount Sinai, I would love to see that. That means Moshe had to be there. That means the Israelites exited out of Egypt. They went all through the promised land to where? Mount Safan. And then from there, they went into Canaan and conquered it. Now, this is news to me. I didn't know nothing about this because they specifically was not led along the route or the way of Heru specifically so as to not encounter the Philistines at that time, because the Egyptians had posts all throughout the way of Heru, which is along the coastal plains of what we call Palestine and Israel. Please show me where Moses and them was at Jebel Akra. I would love to see this because that's where they would have met Baal Hadad. Okay. All right. All right, let's keep going. I'm almost done, family. I'm almost done. I know it's getting late. There's only a couple more minutes left.
So take your staff, go in front of Pharaoh, throw that shit down, it'll turn into a snake. At that point, Pharaoh should be like, oh shit. Pharaoh said, no, we can do that shit too. Now they can say, well, Moses' snake ate Pharaoh's snake. Fine. Why didn't God warn him that Pharaoh could do the same thing?
Because the objective was to harden Pharaoh's heart. Pharaoh or Paro, or then the suit, he was able to replicate the first 3 plagues. On top of doing the snake thing, he had magicians. This is what their job is. They was into the secret arts. So Pharaoh had to believe he had some kind of advantage in order for his heart to harden and not release the Israelites, so that this deity you said is part of the old god can judge the gods of Egypt. Okay.
Had to be embarrassing.
That had to be embarrassing.
Not embarrassing at all, because his snake ate the other snakes. I would be embarrassed if their snakes ate my snake. Then I was like, okay, something's wrong. But how? According to the narrative, there's no embarrassment.
We're going to get into all that, family. You know what I mean? We'll say some for the platform. Again, okay. I'm not debating nobody. I just have more questions than anything. So I want to see what the brothers in the Hebrew Israelite community have to say. And after we do that, man, let's shake
He has loaded questions and leading questions. That's all the questions are he has.
And we're going to talk off camera about how we can come together and really build, because nationhood is important. That's one.
I agree with him about that. And again, if you're watching this, the Conscious Chef or Minister of Information, KHM, we're in the streets putting in this work. So let's talk about nation building, my brother. I'm down with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm down with it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with it. But we got to deal with this first, and then we can talk about nation building. Just like you said, let's do it in that order, and then we can be cool.
One thing the Hebrew Israelites do push is nationality, birthright. Yeah. Same thing that we push. I'm speaking as the Minister of Information. Right. You know, so I'm speaking as my own self, and with no representation of any temple. Although I pay homage, I give honor to all the temples and to all the sheiks and grand sheiks who have imparted information onto me. So, you know, let's talk to the Hebrew Israelites and see what's up, and then we're gonna bring on some Muslims.
Oh, all right, that's it. So again, we're done, and all I want to say is challenge accepted. I gave my terms and conditions. If you agree, let's do it. Or let's meet in person, live stream it. You can make it into an event if you want. Tell me how you want to do it. I'm game. We don't have to debate if you don't want to debate. I'm fine with that. If you want to debate, I'm fine with that too. However you want to do it, we can get grizzly. I'm cool with it. I'm built for this. I've been doing this for a while now. This is like bars. Ask about me, man. Go back and look at my videos with me in the Moorish Science of America. Me with the NOI. I break bread with these. Come on, my brother. This is light work, right? But again, let's build, because we want to edify the audience. I just need you to correct all the stuff I pointed out here. And you can go ahead and count it and see if it's masonically accurate. I'm just saying, I just need you to answer my responses to this stuff. It's out here. So with that being said, I'm gonna go, family, only because I'm extremely tired and it's late. And just watching this, it's just a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sorry that I didn't do the Q&A tonight. However, when we go live next time, if you guys want to bring it up in our open panel, because we probably just do our open panel discussion next time, you can ask it and we can go. All right. I don't know what's going on here. I know somebody got booted. I don't know who got booted. Somebody named Lady. Who is this person? Muting his sister. Who is she talking about, y'all? Who is this person? Oh, she's talking about Seth? I don't know what's going on. But this is what I'm going to do. And y'all know I said I'm tired. But I'm going to post the link in the chat. And whoever this person lady is, I think you're talking about Seth. Seth is part of KHM. So we got to talk. You can't just bang on somebody in my group and we can't. So the link is there for whoever this lady person is. Whether you timed out or not, you can still click on the link and join in. This link is for you. And this link is for anybody in here that has a quick grievance, question, comment on what was discussed today. You have to be on the opposing side. So this is not for my people. Anybody on the opposing side, the link is right there. I don't want anybody to say, oh, Divine's running, he's trying to shut off early. The link is right there. The link is there. Okay, so while we waiting for somebody to hit that link, let me shoot out the question to y'all so that somebody can get this gift card. And we're going to end off the show. Thank y'all for staying on all the way this long to win your gift card. So let me go ahead and shoot this message out. Again, you have to have the app and you will get the push notification. Also, reminders will go out over the weekend after the Sabbath for the membership dues for those of you who want to be part of KHM. We already sent it out. We sent 277 of them out. So we're waiting on the rest to respond. Some people probably didn't get it because they're probably being buried with other things in their email. We understand that. So we're going to send it over the weekend where most people are not working, Saturday evening and Sunday. So people get the reminders so that if you guys do want to join, all you have to do is just process the invoice. And once we get it, then we'll get you started. If you're not interested, you can feel free to decline. We're okay with that. We understand if you're not ready for it right now, you're just not interested, you're just curious, whatever. We understand. Just decline the invoice so that way we can put it in our accounting on our books, right? And then we know who to target from there, right? So we won't have to, push any different information your way, being that you don't want to commit in that way. But if you still want to, be a partner with us, if you still want to promote what we do, if you still want to hang with us, you're still obligated. You're not obligated to, but if you want to, of your own volition, you're more than willing. If you're more than willing, then we're more than happy to have you just join us with the team, as an honorary member, right? But to those who really want to commit to doing work in the community and actually resolving the societies in our community with our Israelite cultural paradigm and putting the Most High's name back on the map, for those of you who are interested in that, we are open and available to bring you on board. We're raising capital so we can take care of your expenses as well as allocate that budget towards services and programs that we so desperately need in our community. And Houston is a great example of why we need KHM. It's a great example. I've been talking about this stuff for over 8 years. Nation building was our number one priority, but people want to see debates and arguments and fights and all this other stuff. But what about the nation building? A lot of people are not serious about that. They'll watch and support a debate. I'll say, hey, I'm doing a debate with somebody. It's $20. They put $20 up for that. But I say, look, we're raising money for our membership dues to induct you into the organization so we can do real work. And people is like, few people here and there. And I guess it's just where we're at as a people right now, So I'll just build with the remnant. I have no problem with that. But then if people need to see that manifested before they get on board, I'm going to be a little, okay. But, if you need help, I'm here. We're going to help. Email is there. Number is there if you need some help or assistance from us. All right. All right. So let me go ahead and shoot this out. Let me get off of here. All right. I'm going to send out this push notification. I'm going to ask you a question. Somebody's going to win them a Amazon gift card tonight just from being here and rocking with us. All right. Yaakov Shaul. He might be a mixture of both. I think he might be a mixture of both, my brother. But the only way to know is to chat with him. I am Sister Hadasha says membership one-time fee. Membership is monthly. It's a monthly donation of $50 or more. It's up to you whatever you want to donate, but the minimum is $50 to stay part of the organization. So we don't collect tithes and offerings and all that other stuff. All we ask for members is to donate $50 for their membership dues so we can have capital to do everything that we need to do as an organization without having to ask anybody outside of the organization for help. Right. So that's what that's about. So yes, it is a monthly donation for membership dues. All right. And our legal team is working. Our finance team is working together. So if anybody needs to write anything off their taxes, we're going to be sure to do what we can to assist you as best we can by the end of the year. All right. So, all right. So let me go ahead and do a question. I'm trying to think of a question to ask y'all. Let me see. I'll do a question that I can ask y'all. Let me see. Let me find a question. Oh, I got it. All right. I sent it. And yes, family, please hit that thumbs up button. Please hit that thumbs up button so that the YouTube algorithm can boost this up at the top of the charts. So this is the first thing that people see. And they know that Israelites, we don't run. This is light work, man. I just felt like I got a nice little workout off of this. Calisthenics. We don't run. We built for this. And I didn't use anything dogmatic at all. I'm just holding you to sources based on claims you're making. You understand what I'm saying? This is light work. Oh, there you go. Stacks got it. No, the village faction got it first. Oh, Stacks, man. Almost got it. I think he hit send faster than you did. So the village faction. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give 2 gift cards out, right? Because enough people donated today. We want to give this back to the community, okay? So I'm going to give it to the village faction. I'm going to give it to Stacks 2296. So both of you guys email me, kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. Email me, and then we're going to send you a virtual Amazon gift card to your email address. All right. So you two both won. The village faction and Stacks 2296. You both won. You both get gift cards. We see that we had new people sign up for the Patreon. Thank you so much to everybody that signed up for the Patreon. We appreciate that. Everybody that gave via the Cash App and everybody that gave in the chat for the super chat. We appreciate that. All right. Thank you for everybody else who just came on to watch, who shared the video, hit the thumbs up. That also counts. It's a form of currency. So we appreciate that as well. Thank you, everybody, for your prayers and your support for everything that we do here at KHM. We want to continue to provide for the community, take care of our own. We can only do it with your help, family. All right. And if you're brand new to this channel, hit subscribe. Go back and check out the archives. If you think this was something, I got tons of other videos and lectures and a whole bunch of other stuff that will blow your mind. This was just light work. This is freestyle, right? But again, if the brother does accept my invitation to dialogue on Crumb TV and KHM, and they're going to live stream it, or they want to do it in person, let's do it. I need him to address all these claims he makes, and once he's able to source validate them, then we can proceed to whatever he wants to talk about. We can put the book away and just talk about anthropology. Whatever you want to do. Let's talk about astronomy. Whatever you want to do, let's do it. I'm ready. That's all I'm saying. Okay. AJ Haynes says, Brother Divine, I want to learn. I want to help. No problem, my brother. Please email us at kingdomharbinger@gmail.com or get the app and sign up for membership or join one of our groups. And you can definitely assist that way, King. All right. All right. So that's it. So if anybody's out there, if you hear the sound of my voice and you're in Houston or East Texas and need any kind of assistance, please email us at kingdomharbinger@gmail.com or call us at 678-430-3832 Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you call us after hours, it will go straight to a voicemail, which may or may not be addressed. But if you get voicemail, then call us back Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, we're looking for people who do clerical work or administrators. We need administrators and people who do clerical work. Please email us kingdomharbinger@gmail.com if you do any of these things, because we need your assistance. We need some admins for a couple more things that we have going on. And we also have tons of other groups of departments that we're building in KHM. All right. And we can only be successful if the village gets involved. If the village gets involved. Keep your surplus in the belly of your neighbor, right? And take care of your elders because they have once taken care of you. And if you do these simple things, you are fulfilling things that's already in the Torah. Okay? So help us get these programs and services out to take care of our community, wean them off the welfare state so we can be fully set apart and busy awaiting our redemption. All right? Love you, family. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Shout out to Sham Shawn that just came in. Sister I Am Hadasha and building. My brother Seth M. What's going on? Let me see. Any last minute shout outs? Sa'alatanu Yisrael. Shalom, sis. Let me see. Anybody else I missed? Van Coach, shalom. And I think that's everybody. If I missed anybody, forgive me. I wasn't watching the chat, but I appreciate everything y'all did in the chat to be active and involved and participate and keep things involved. Shout out to D Hoodie 24. Shalom to you, King. All right, family. So I'll see you again, family. Next time we go live, might be over this weekend, might be the Saturday or Sunday. We'll go live again with some exclusives. So make sure you subscribe to this channel, hit that bell notification, hit all, but also subscribe to the Patreon so you can see a lot of the behind the scenes. We got the circumcision video coming up. We got a snippet of what we recorded earlier yesterday of the Karagma film documentary. And then we have a build that's going to only be on Patreon that's going to come about this weekend. So you don't want to miss that. And we have tons more books that are going to be loaded and articles that will be loaded and giveaways that will be loaded all on the Patreon. Thank you for everybody that's given, because you're making a way for other people that you don't even know to give them an opportunity, not just resources, but an opportunity to take care of themselves. All right. And that way they can remove the distraction and have a clear path to the Most High Yah. All right. Love you, family. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy your Shabbat. Be safe. And just know, anytime you see a minister of misinformation, a minister of information, and they put out any kind of assertions, always use the crap method to vet what they say. And this is not a shot at my brother, Minister of Information. He is a Minister of Information. But there's ministers of misinformation out there that's misleading people and moving us off our square. And people are denouncing being Israelite because they're not exposed to full spectrum knowledge. But here at KHM, this is why the scholarship element exists. While y'all support it via the Patreon and Super Chat, we will continue to build a body of knowledge to educate our community so that no one person is left hungry, but they would be fed with information and they would be given an anchor that's going to keep them solid whenever the waves come and go. You will still be standing because Yah does not fail, and he's not going to fail you. You was here for a reason and not by accident. Accept that, move forward in your purpose, and know that we got your back, and we're building an ecosystem of support to protect you and safeguard you so you may continuously enjoy the abundant life that Yeshua promised those who keep the statutes, laws, and commandments. All right. Love you, family. Thank you for watching. Peace and shalom. Shalom, shalom, family.